Mm. Ball so hard, motherfucker won't find me. That shit crack.
This is the Riot Squadcast, a supporter-driven show dedicated to LA Galaxy news, information, and opinions. Here's your hosts, Ed Rodriguez and Chris Zero Cool Tucker.
Welcome to the Riot Squadcast. My name is Ed Rodriguez, and damn, it feels good
Hello, sir.
to be back in the studio, especially after this weekend. Christopher Tucker, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm tired, man. No, I'm good, man.
We need to get
fucking
Ben.
doing all right.
Let's get on it. Let's just do a sticker which just says "I'm tired,"
Fucking tired.
and then
man.
has like the Riot Squadcast logo on the back of it or something.
I want George to draw me as a sloth smoking a joint that just says "I'm tired" out of the top. That's like Snorlax. Or just draw me like Snorlax. I love fucking Snorlax is my spirit animal. My spirit Pokemon.
Your spirit Pokemon.
There's the title. Yeah, man, I'm good. School's back in. Damien's walking and healthy and pooping and huge, and life is grand. Life is grand. So how are you?
Good, man. Good to hear. Been doing well, man. It was a crazy weekend, but it was good, man. Me and Gilbert went to go watch the New Japan Pro Wrestling show
Super
in Long
J-Cup.
Beach. It was okay. It was
Get to
good.
see
It was
some
good.
young lions.
Yeah, it was a lot. More than I wanted or expected.
Did Jushin wrestle? Jushin Thunder
Yes.
Liger? Okay. Well, you saw his last show in America. I mean, that's pretty notable.
Yeah, I mean the crowd popped like hard for Jushin. Like, it was crazy.
You saw Will Ospreay?
Yeah. So I mean, they had like
Beautiful, man.
they had like three top guys, Will, Naito, and Jay White. I would say are like the three guys that were. I don't know if you'd call Juice like a top guy. It'd be like mid range.
Not anymore.
No.
Taichi Ishimori was there?
Yeah.
You pay to see the bones over there. This is my nickname in high school.
It was him and Jay White in a tag team against Naito and Bushi.
That's a good match.
Yeah.
Solid match.
Solid. And of course, Bushi's the one who's getting the
Eighth
pinfall.
pin?
Yeah, of course he is.
Who got the pinfall? Jay?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Of course, right?
There's your wrestle talk for the week.
And that's what. But anyways,
I haven't
we're
seen
back.
you in a while, so I haven't.
Back
we're
in
gonna
the
get my
studio.
wrestling out.
This is me, of course. Apparently, Mickey Mouse to you and Andrew and
Don't
Ben.
take it personal. Don't you?
Oh, it's welcome to Riot Squadcast. Oh, boy.
You were gone, and Andrew being Andrew is gonna go after you,
and Andrew did us a solid filling in pretty much at the last minute.
and did a
Thank you.
damn fine job as always.
No, I mean I expected way more hazing and just shithousery on my end.
I keep telling you, it's just like when I'm not here. I try to hit the fact that you're not here, tell a joke or two, and then entirely forget about it. Just move forward. Seems like the easiest
That's
way.
never the case though. It's always like it always pops up every
Well,
now and then in
usually-
an episode.
Usually when how long we've been going comes up, that's when it goes like, oh well, for whatever reason, and completely arbitrary. You're like, well, fuck Ed, we're gonna go as long as we want, as if that's any big deal or concern.
But yes, and of course we're also always joined by producer Ben. Producer Ben, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. Hopped up, like Tucker said, school's back in. Hopped up on just about every sort of legal sort of caffeine drink you can imagine
Hopped up
right
on
now.
life and
I just
methamphetamine.
I just realized all three of us will be in school this week.
Educational boys.
I start on Saturday.
Excellent.
I'll be honest, and look, we can have we're all honest here. No, we're all surrounded by friends, right? I was 100% certain you were going to cancel your classes before they started, and I guess you still got a couple days.
Yeah, time.
But I like that because Ed, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you were inspired or encouraged to go back to school, seeing, I'm assuming, the trials and tribulations I've been going through.
Yeah, no, I definitely seen the hard work you put in. I was like, all right, man, I can do it.
It's for once in my life.
If Chris can do it, anyone can do it.
Bro, it's as simple as it can be. Like I can't put it in any better phrasing. Like really,
Tuck, when you gave him the speech to get him back in school, because make no mistake, I mean that speech that you gave him is the reason why he's in school now.
Oh yeah.
It's
In fact, you should be paying for his school, and he should be calling you daddy.
well, that's
how good that speech was.
I just call him daddy for other reasons.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want either of those. Like, let's just leave it where we're at. But it just came down to your.
We've got a big little situation in here. You know what I'm saying?
We always have. You're at a very important juncture of your life. With you're married now, and you and Denise live together, and you're progressing and you're moving forward. Let's start laying some groundwork for the future. School may not even be it. Graduating might not be it. Maybe you halfway through you find out what you actually want to do, and that doesn't involve going to school. That's fine. It doesn't really matter where the avenue is. There just needs to be an avenue out of the cycle you're currently in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to.
Not that where you're at's bad or anything, but if you don't enjoy it, and this is true of everybody, if you don't enjoy where you're currently at, if you're not actively working to get out of it, you're perfectly comfortable being where you're at. I asked my coworkers.
And you have no right to complain if you're not willing to do something about it.
As long as, well, that's my thing. Don't bitch to me if you're not working to get out of it. If you're working to get out of it, then I will sit and listen to you all day, and I will try to come up with schemes and plans, and we'll try to figure shit out as best we can. But if you're comfortable in whatever shitty situation you have, well, don't fucking complain to me about it. And you used to complain to me about you every time you came in, every Tuesday, you would complain about your job. And at one point, like every grown up, you were like, I don't want to just sit down and fucking bitch and moan about my job anymore. Let's go change it. So I'm could not be happier that you're on the road and you're doing it. You're gonna fucking do it, man.
I do love that. So I'm taking 3 classes, 1 actually in class and 2 online.
Lazy. 3 classes.
I know. The one that is in person starts on Saturday, and then my 2 online classes don't start for another month. So I think it's a nice transition. Like, hey, here's one class to ease you into having more classes. So I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I have 5 this semester for 17 units. Where I lucked out is, and I didn't know this when I signed up for them. 3 of them run all semester. 1 is basically half the semester, so it's a truncated class. Everything's I don't know if I'm using that word right, but it's shorter, and then on the front half, and then my 5th class is shorter on the back half. It starts literally the day after the 4th one ends. So although I'll have 5 classes a semester and I will constantly be working, I won't have to do more than 4 at a time, which is I can't tell you how fucking stoked I am.
Okay, that makes me a lot feel a lot better, because when you said you had 5 classes, I'm like, I don't know how I was gonna do that, man.
I don't know how I'm gonna do 4, but
wait, but you're over here fucking. Right. You're always saying, "Oh, 3 classes, what a little bitch."
It is, yeah. No. I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's no, but all joking aside, whatever it takes for you to get comfortable going back, whatever it takes for you to succeed. If 1 class a semester is what it took for you to succeed, or to help you kind of get over the hump with it, then take the 1 class.
So if we are recording live, obviously on youtube.com/Riot Squadcast. Your man Tony Odom in the chat says Tucker is like Tony Robbins, just without the Me Too, without the hashtag Me Too.
I mean, depending on how far back you go, you might stumble across a little, just a wee bit, but not too much.
Yeah. But if you are in the YouTube, or if you are on Facebook or Twitter watching our live video, what you guys can do for us is just hit that share button, hit the like button. Bring more earballs onto this, because this is going to be the great episode after El Trafico.
If you're listening into the live chat right now, please feel free to hit retweet, share it out for some people. We would love to get a couple more opinions in. We'd like to hear from some listeners later in the show for how their kind of interaction with the El Trafico weekend was like. You're going to be able to call in, not at the moment, but you can call in a little bit later at 562-641-5277. I'm sure we'll enjoy some live calls. I know there's at least 1 voicemail that I hope gets played today.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2.
Because I'm just going to hold up the show until he plays it anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, hit share in the YouTube feed, or go ahead and tweet the link out so we can get some more bodies in, some more voices in, and have a good time.
There we go. Benjamin, do you want to play the Lars News jingle?
Lars News. This is Lars News. It's not real news. This is just Lars News about stuff and things we want to talk about. Lars News. This is Lars News.
All right, so not much going on right now. But as you know, this Sunday there's going to be viewing parties all across Southern California, and even some in Vegas. And If you want to look on the socials, make sure you're looking out for Riot Squad, and ACB's Instagrams and Twitters. All the viewing parties are posted up there. Like I said, all across Southern California. If you're in Vegas, because a lot of us, take a quick trip to Vegas every now and then. There's like a huge Vegas contingency growing now. There's San Diego viewing parties, so make sure you're watching out for the posts that usually happen around like Thursday, Friday. That goes up and has like all the viewing parties and all that stuff. So go check out ACB's or Lars's Twitters and Facebooks and Instagram. Sorry, it's more where it's posted.
All social media.
Go check it all out.
Check out. Look, you know where social media is. You know where the young people are. All the
Facebooks,
the face
Snapchatties,
snapses and the Snapgrams and the face
and the
tweets.
TikToks.
Yeah, all those places.
Yeah.
Go check those out. It'll be posted.
Other than that, 138SC still opportunities to go sign up for that. Where you can get your your merch or you sign up. You can go to LARiotSquad.org. There's a Uncle Sam we want you to sign up image. You just click on that. You go and fill out your form. You can go help out Lars. Help out their the tifos, the pregame. If you enjoy free beer, that's where it all goes to. Help out anything that you see that happens with Lars and you think costs money. I like it from that.
If you want to be eligible for an LAFC away ticket for next season, this one's not going to help you. That's more of a next year thing, but it's how you get involved. It's how you get your name thrown into the pot for things like that. 138 SC membership, Lars season ticket holder, all those things. They're important to the overall growth of supporters groups. It's how you can help out.
Char Chorito in the chat on youtube.com/RiotSquadcast says you're helping out the Nut Punch.
Yeah, look, it's like a rock the vote kind of situation, but for the testicular destruction of Ed Rodriguez.
Yeah.
We all work towards this together. It's like Terminator.
Nut or die.
Nut or die? Yeah, God, fucking my high school years all over again. It's like two watermelons walking around with my pants. Disgusting.
Just jangling.
Oh, then you just.
But you had your Jankos on, so it's like
you can. How could you tell?
How could you tell?
But then when you finally get that nut in, it's like you squeezed out a whole toothpaste roll all at once. Disgusting.
That's
not
a visual that I wanted.
I don't even know why you would bring this up.
Just to pick up our viewership. We gotta get them engagements.
We do that after we're like, hey, everybody retweet it and share it to all of your friends.
Yeah, make sure your mother's listening to this. Your pastor, yeah, make sure he's listening to that too.
This is a good episode for him.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. Other than that, yeah, just go to LRSquad.org where you can find information on how to buy tickets. I think we only have 3 home games left in the season, so it's all of them are up there. You can go purchase your tickets. I know I'll be at the last home game because that's the last of my 6-game pack. But yeah, you go to LRSquad.org. You can find tickets. You can find all that information where we tailgate. That's all up there on the site. If you guys want to go visit our site, it's RiotSquadcast.com. You guys can go find we have, I know Jamie Bacon, who is a regular contributor to the show. She posts weekly, previews of the league, like where we stand and how we want the league to fall out. We also have the games, we have where you can interact with the show because we have all our social medias up there.
Mm-hmm.
We also have where you can do the prediction game. That's thanks to Big Tony. He always puts that up every week. You can go put your predictions in there. We have a T-shirt. We are currently rocking the Riot Squadcast hat. I don't know if you saw the picture.
I likes
them. They fit nice. Them snapbacks though. Those will be going up pretty soon on the site as well. We'll let you guys know when that's going up there though.
Yeah, it's going to be a limited edition too. So if you want it, you're going to have to get it quick.
Exclusive.
Yep.
I like that. Grab that shit. But that'll be going up there. We'll let you know when that goes up there. We also have the Patreon. If you guys want to support us on there, it's patreon.com/RiotSquadcast. We have a $5 and $10 level if you guys want to help us out there to help us do more shows. That is appreciated.
Yeah, we're really pushing the $5 level at this point. We'd like to get about twice as many as we have now, just because we want to do a lot more stuff in the off season. We want to do some stuff going into next season. So if y'all like the show, $5 tuck.
Look, I got textbooks.
You took math class.
I did.
So $5 a month. Come on, how much is that per episode?
How many episodes do we do a month?
4.
That's not bad. It's what, $1.25? You're
$1.25,
doing right.
yeah.
$1.25 an episode.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, really, what can you get that is as quality as this show for $1.25 an episode?
It'll give you a blowjob.
That's at least $3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be
like
at least
two episodes worth.
Like a $5, like a $10 level, man.
Nah, you like fucking trading in the Wild West. You'll do it for like 3/4 of a penny. It's like you can flick me a penny, get a nice Hummer, and still get some change going.
Hey,
on.
that penny would buy me, a night's rest and like a bread loaf.
Goes a long way.
Yeah,
It was a better time.
it was,
It was a better time.
Was it, Tuck?
Oh, sarsaparilla.
I need a mint julep.
Oh, bathtub mint julep. Every time I think of a mint julep drink, I think of a bathtub mint julep from The Simpsons, where it was like the Prohibition episode when they
Yeah.
got the bowling balls. Like, did anybody order a bathtub mint julep? I have no. I'm afraid if I went to like a fancy bar and tried to order a mint julep, it would come out bathtub mint julep.
Yeah, I feel like an asshole even ordering like a rum drink, like the one that they take more than like a minute to mix and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like more of like an asshole.
Like a mojito or something where they gotta like crush the stuff at the bottom.
Well, see, I usually go for like a what is it? I'm trying to think of it. It's like a tiki fucking drink.
You like umbrella drinks?
I can go for an umbrella. Do they taste nice? They taste good.
I don't know. I'm a man. I drink whiskey, whether it's it might be mixed with soda.
Hey, bro, it's 2019, all right?
You can order whatever you want.
Yeah.
How dare I?
How dare you?
I apologize.
How
Let
dare
me
you?
check. Let me check my privilege right at the goddamn door when I walk in. Who do I think I am? And I just came out of the Bank of California. I should know all about the weird hipster entitlements right now. So, sir, I apologize. Let me take that back. You should order whatever appletini or chocolatini or whatever.
This was
whatever drink
supposed to
you
be
want.
my safe space.
Yeah, I apologize. Look, you got me too'd out of nowhere. Next
Look
thing
at
I know,
that.
I'm on the list.
Already there.
It's that.
You
quick.
and Tony Robbins.
Tuck, we're gonna HR is gonna talk to you after the show.
Fuck. God. Well, that's the end of this show. I mean, if I'm fired, what are you guys gonna do?
Ah, man.
I'll call in.
Yeah.
I'll do it from a
Well, you won't do that either. Though.
Yeah,
You won't do that either.
because that always works for us. Every
Yeah,
time
exactly.
you call in.
Look, I do what I can.
So, like I said earlier in the show, I did go to that wrestling show in Long Beach. Sitting next to us, an LAFC fan. So by the time
You were with Gilbert,
me
right?
me and Gilbert, we went, and sitting next to us was this LAFC
Were
fan
they all geared up?
who was there was a couple hats, but nothing more than that. But so we sat next to this guy and we talked him up a little bit. Yes, he was a former Chivas USA supporter.
Hmm.
So we're like, of course you would just transfer you rebrand your Chivas USA gear to LAFC gear.
So I have a question on that. Do you have more respect for that guy
No.
than you would for, say, somebody who just jumped on the bandwagon who didn't
Oh.
even follow soccer?
Well, respect is a strong word.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not
okay,
sure
not-
respect is the word I'd use.
Okay, respect
see what
of
you're saying.
not respect of him, but respect
Would I
of the
would I
fandom.
not chastise him as much if it was just some
Yeah.
like random dude? Yeah.
I'll say that. I don't know. Yeah, respect is hard, but I commend the loyalty. I'll say that. For whatever you choose to be. Like San Jose Earthquake fans. Can you imagine what it's got to be like to be a fan of the San Jose Earthquakes?
Can you imagine what it's got to be like to live in NoCal?
Well, not only to live in Northern California, but like you support a team that best case scenario for them is we made the playoffs this year.
Or like a deep Open Cup run.
And even that never works out because
Yeah.
they get eliminated by USL teams. Like it's the best case
Reno,
scenario for you is
1865.
we got 2 extra games out of the season. And we realistically, the best case scenario is we made it 1 game further than the Galaxy, and then we got eliminated.
Well, they also get to play like Atletico Bilbao as their like
Lucky fuck.
special teams.
But it's weird. I do commend the loyalty of willing to admit you supported a horrible abortion of a franchise, and then when they went away, and they came back, which is realistically what happened, you were right there waiting for them.
So I brought up we sat next to a LAFC fan because it was like the last like 20 minutes of the show is when the game started. So Gilbert brings up the game on his phone, and I mean, as you know, it didn't take long
No,
for Zlatan to just Zlatan all over this game.
isn't technology beautiful?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Was he having a good time?
The guy
The
next to us.
LAFC
Oh,
fan,
he just
yeah.
ignored us. Yeah. Because we're just like getting all into it.
Hey,
That was
buddy.
amazing.
Hey, buddy, did you see that? Did you see that?
Oh,
Did you
Gilbert
see
like
this?
screamed and like apologized.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Screamed at a New Japan show.
Well, like at the guy.
Oh.
Yeah. He screamed at the dude. And he's like, "Oh, my bad about that." Now.
Why would he apologize? What's he got to apologize for?
Because it's kind of a dick mood. He like literally on the dude's face.
It's an LAFC fan.
If
got
I'll tell you,
nothing to
if he
apologize
scored,
for.
if they scored first, he would have rubbed it in your face.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
No.
I just assume because in that when I hear that story, because Gilbert told me he was like, yeah, fucking, I shoved it in his face. I was like, yeah, that makes as you do. That's what you would do. That's to be expected.
Yeah.
It didn't seem that too, that out of line. I'm sure that guy I'm sure. Well, having not been there, it's hard to judge. But just hearing the story, my assumption is if I sat there in a Galaxy hat and he was an LAFC fan and they scored first, I would expect him to lean over and give me a little business there. I don't know how over the top Gilbert went.
There's business, and there's like, say you're in the stadium. Because you were at the game actually.
Oh yeah.
How did you react when we scored that first goal?
Oh, well, we can talk about that in a little bit. It was as you would expect.
So imagine how you'd expect your celebration in the stadium.
Sitting next to one.
Is what Gilbert did in this dude's face. Like, not like next to him celebrating, like in the dude's like, yeah, like screaming in his face.
Oh, he's in his face.
Oh, like.
Hey, Gilbert, good job. I'm proud of you. I've never been more proud of you.
But yes, our boy Christopher Tucker was at the Stank of California. Let's talk about it, man. How was your experiences?
I mean, I was there with the, I guess predominantly, it was a lot of Larsers there, but predominantly a mixture, and LAX as a whole. I mean, why segregate it? But LAX as a whole, the Lars and ACB unified traveling group.
I heard 8 buses.
I want to say 9. I know of it's at least 8 for sure, because we had 7 coming out of the stubby or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's 2 or 3 that came out.
I thought 2 came from LA Live.
Yeah.
So, but it's 3 came out of LA Live, so it's I guess 10, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10, somewhere between 8 and 10, I guess. There were a lot of buses, man, and so we get there. What I love what the Galaxy did, they said everybody got to be here by 4. You want to make sure you're on the bus. We're here at Little Apple 121 in the live chat says it was 11 buses in total. But you want to get here early. We're going to get on the bus. Naturally, we show up. You got to wait 40 minutes because no one shows up on time, and we got to wait for everybody.
It's Los Angeles, man. No shows up on time.
Which if anything, just to kind of run point by point on the entire experience, kudos to the Galaxy understanding that there were going to be a lot of people who were running late. Ramsey's was even in the Discord group saying, "Hey, I'm going to be cutting it pretty damn close. Hopefully, they'll wait for me." So kudos to the Galaxy for understanding people were kind of going to be a little tardy and creating some leeway to make sure everyone can kind of get there and no one missed out, which would have been horrible. But we got to the tailgate, had some beers, smoked a little bit, kind of mellow. No one went too crazy. That's the one thing that I kind of noticed. Everyone seemed aware of the fact that they kind of wanted to keep their wits about them and keep a solid head on their shoulders, and no one got too crazy.
Well, because you don't want to be the dude who, if it pops up, like you're like too sloppy.
You got to get carried.
Yeah,
you don't want to be, you're more harm than good.
Yeah.
So we had everyone was kind of chilling. I got on one bus with Don Jaime and Pablo and Matt and all of the group basically, and we were in standing room only on a bus, so we got moved to an overflow in the back, which the music immediately got better. We had a little Mexican music playing in our bus, and on the previous bus was very like, I don't know, like Eurovision. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what kind of music it was, but it was like white people techno. And then we get moved to the back, and it's a far more enjoyable experience. And then we drive up the freeway. By now, like the whiskey and the weed's kind of hitting me, so I had a weird like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas kind of bus ride into the stadium, which was fun. But by the time we got there, I'd kind of balanced back out and was good. But we're driving to, and feel free to interrupt me at any point, because I don't know, obviously when to stop talking.
No, I mean, I want to hear everything that went down, man.
And so we pull into the stadium and into the parking section, and I guess Pablo, you don't know his last name, Pablo offers to pay the bus driver to open the door so he can scream at these LAFC fans waiting on the street, which of course the bus driver immediately obliges. So, kudos to that gentleman as well. And Pablo, in his most respectful tone possible, simply reminds the LAFC fans that this was our town well before them. He has nut older than them, which was a lovely insult. And they just stood there, looking as confused as can be. And then the driver proceeded to just keep on driving with the door open, which I seemed to take Pablo a little bit, by surprise, but everything kind of worked out. We had a police escort through,
there and back, right?
There and back, yeah. Which was kind of cool. But police escort with all the buses kind of in a row going into the stadium was fine. proper shit, man. It's a good
Proper
time.
away days, man. Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
it's look. I don't.
Some argy-bargy shit.
I want to go through all the parts of I want to go through all the parts of the experience, but like the one thing that I kind of took away as a positive was I don't know how you make the claim this isn't a rivalry. Like I don't understand coming off of that experience. I don't understand that. As it's being as I'm being reminded of in the group chat, like they shut down downtown, or not downtown because they're not in downtown, but they shut down where there's the traffic around where their stadium is.
South LA.
So our 11 buses could take off from the freeway and go into their stadium and park and get everybody off. So once we get inside, we everyone gets unloaded from the buses. Everyone kind of gets back together. We all start heading in to our security, basically our gate.
Because they're already gonna like put you guys inside, right? Like
we're immediately,
Yeah.
like it's probably 5 something, and they're gonna toss us inside, right away. So we go through the metal detectors and the ticket scans. I still don't really understand how their tickets scan because they don't have a barcode on them, which didn't make any sense to me. Which is really weird because they have this system. They have this like ticketing system that there's no barcode reader. Presumably, so they have to hire fewer people to like it's all automated. So you just scan your thing and you go right through. But because it's not clear how it works, they still have to hire people to stand at the gate and usher every ticket through. As it like if they put a barcode on it, they could have one person in security make sure nobody jumps the line. But because there's no barcode, they have to pay people to show people how to get into the stadium. It's a really weird setup. But the outside, and I will admit I'm going to try to stay as as non-biased as possible. I'm going to put my Josh Guessman reporter hat on and try to stay as non-biased for right now. Stay as non-biased as possible.
there's an opportunity to.
This is the one chance. It's fine.
Ben broke his headphones, so he's trying to fix it.
But the outside, aesthetically, you're like, oh, because this is the first time I ever got to see the building. I've only ever passed it on the freeway. Outside, you walk up and you're like, holy shit! Like this is the stadium everyone keeps talking about. I'm at LAFC's fucking bank. Oh, why even do it? You're better off not doing it. Here's the thing: the moment you do it, you're just alerting everyone who didn't even think about it. Ben wasn't ready. That's it. Which was fine, but whatever. Reset. So you pull up to it and you're like, okay, this is the Bank of California Stadium. This is that big thing everyone had been talking about. Awesome. Let's get inside. So you finally get through. The geniuses, the absolute geniuses. If you needed to use the restroom, because we had our own bathroom section, basically the same way the Galaxy runs Dignity Health Sports or StubHub, whatever. There is a restroom away for the fan group.
Yeah.
They kind of block everything else off. This becomes your bathroom. When we showed up, you couldn't go to the bathroom. You had to go up the stairs to the section that we were in,
And then come back down.
and then continue to the right. Like, so we were in the furthest most left part. You would go up the stairs, then travel to the right, back outside of your section, go back down the stairs on the other side, like slightly 50 feet down, and then go right to the restroom that you just passed to go up the stairs. Even if you were like, yeah, but I got to go to the bathroom. They were like, okay, you just need to go up the stairs and then over and then back down, because they had police. Basically, they had police at our stairs. They had police on the back stairs. They just didn't have anyone in between. That's the best logic I can understand.
But Andrew points out that at this point, you guys were the only people in the stadium.
Literally the only people in the stadium. It was us and staff of LAFC. So it was just stupid. But other than that, it's no big deal. And so we're once we get in, and I go hit the head as soon as I get in, because I get it out of the way. You walk up and you're in the section where the away fans are supposed to be. And I can't, like, there's genuinely and truly unbiased, hat off, like, or reporter hat on, honest to God's truth. I swear to you. Just don't do it anymore. It's fine. Honest to God's truth. It's such a disappointing experience from top to bottom. It's cheap. It's small. It's so small. Like, I never, ever in my wildest dreams thought they would build such a tiny stadium in downtown Los Angeles. It's crazy. It's the size. Do you remember? This was the comparison I made. Do you remember Slam Ball? It was on like
course.
TNN or
Yeah.
Spike or something like that.
Yeah.
If a slam ball team got popular enough where they built an arena, that's the size of an arena you would think they would build. Like that's genuinely the size of a stadium I thought like Landon Donovan's San Diego Sockers played in. It's so small. It feels cheap. Like it's a black and gold Avaya. It's really, really weird. And the idea that like the soccer aspect of the stubby or Victoria or whatever you want to call it, the fact that the soccer stadium aspect of the StubHub Center cost $83 million and Bank of California Stadium cost $350 million, the first thing that came to mind was like someone has embezzled money out of this place. It's small, it's plasticky, it's everything feels
Well,
cheap.
when you have Tony Robbins as one of your investors, yeah, embezzling is probably the right word.
But it was just like
He knows how to take money out of from people's pockets.
I don't even really see, and it could be my lack of I am no, I'm obviously no architect or anything like that. I don't quite understand how they could go about expanding it, but it doesn't seem like it's built to be expanded. It genuinely and truly feels like it's built to be taken apart in 3 years really, really quickly. It looks like it's built to not exist anymore and they can put something else there. If that team got relocated, there's no reason they couldn't take that thing apart piece by piece and build it up again somewhere else. There's nothing unique about it. There's nothing special about it. It's all like the whole experience, I assure if you haven't been in yet, right?
No.
The entire experience is made to look larger on television than it actually is. And I part of me thinks it's purposefully by design. Like it's designed to kind of be, because it's really steep and narrow. Like, so the staircase that we were sitting in, you're almost falling over each other because there's no railing on the chairs. So it's as little room as was necessary to fit those, I guess it's 22,000 seats. But there's nothing to, if you're standing in that section, which they have to imagine away supporters are doing, like it's almost hazardous that you are likely to fall over. Several people almost fell over. It's just, it's really weird. It's really, really, really weird, man.
Especially when you think of like sports, you think people are going to be drinking. Like that just seems like a hazard.
It feels really hazardous and dangerous. And that's just, and again, I'm just now at this point when I say it's disappointing, that's just the stadium. I genuinely never thought a downtown stadium would get built that was that small, that was that tiny and like unimpressive. 3252. Oh man. First off, there is look, let's get the Guestman reporter hat stuff out of the way first. It's large. It is a large. It's a large little supporter subsection area. It's very clearly designed to make it so that whole end is their supporter group section. That's the goal. 3252, I guess, is supposed to count the tickets or the seats in the area. Yeah. There are 2 corner sections that have no involvement whatsoever with the supporters group, that whose numbers are counted in their seat total. There is a large, like an unacceptably large area for the drums that are segmented to the back. Probably cuts 30-40 seats out of the total, also included in the total. Like it has this weird like and not just the 3252 section, but pretty much the stadium as a whole has this like ring of premium seats that kind of sit amongst the top, where it's for people who want to spend a lot of money to feel like they're in a supporter section but not engage in any real way.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. I guess it's because I was so disappointed. I just kept looking at this thing like, but of the supporters group section, I mean, they couldn't have been Galaxy. They could never have been Galaxy fans. And I will admit, I internally kind of struggled with, there is these people who are in Los Angeles. Why would they choose to not support not only the biggest team in the country, but their local team? Like, why wouldn't they support it doesn't make, like, it genuinely doesn't make any sense to me. I understand. Like, now I understand. They are every carbon copy of every MLS supporters group in this quote unquote new 3.0 era. The chants are all the same. The movements are all the same. Everything is the same. They're a Timbers Army light. They're a ECS light, Raucous Orlando, whatever the fuck they're called. light version of them. Atlanta, a light version of them. It's the whole experience, Ed. And I'm not saying it to disappoint anybody. I'm not saying it to make you feel like you shouldn't go. Top to bottom, it's a disappointment. That supporters group is a massive fucking disappointment. And it's if you ever see it on TV, it's got to be shot at the steepest of angles because it ain't that big. I see why the Galaxy are saying, and that one other thing I came away from, I see why the Galaxy are like, we should put all the supporters groups together and put them in one section because Lars and ACB will be bigger than them. Lars and ACB would be bigger than the 3252 on an average game because if that's how they were against us, that's disappointing. Like as an organization, LAFC for $350 million probably should have expected a bit more.
And not to only mention that, putting up, basically like follow the bouncing ball for the chance.
Oh, they don't watch. Sorry, the national anthem is on a screen where
God, that was so bad.
Where they have the words. They have screens that are telling people in the stadium what songs to sing. Like what the 3252 is doing this song. Like, come on, get your scarves up, ladies. I mean, all of it. It's manufactured from top to bottom. I'm pretty sure I heard some chants getting pumped in through some speakers. I could be wrong. But even if I'm not, you could barely hear their supporters anyway. Like there was a decent contingent of Galaxy fans. I think there was something in our specific section. There were definitely Galaxy fans.
Oh yeah, you saw them scattered around on TV.
But in I think our section, we were allocated something in the neighborhood of like 700 to 800 tickets. That's my understanding. I understand that I was inside of the section with 700 or 800 people. If there's 3,000 of you in a matchbox of a stadium, I should be able to hear you very, very clearly.
Yeah.
Very, very clearly. Fuck me, man. Like, it's good. They can have them. They can have every single one of them. It's, I wouldn't want them. If you've somehow figured out how to support the Galaxy and LAFC, that's your business. I wouldn't want.
We're talking about his
I don't look anybody who makes whatever decision makes them comfortable. But I mean, I wouldn't have. I don't know. With all things being equal, I don't know how that's what you choose. That's what it's like. It's just it's imitation from top to bottom.
Well, I mean, and we've said it, everything just feels fake. You've seen pictures going around.
It is fake.
You've seen people pictures going on Twitter of like, it's like a fashion show people show up to.
Yeah, it's Ed. It's manufactured. Everything is manufactured.
You have their fans talking to reporters and saying "Viva Vamos Galaxy" and then changing it halfway through and just saying.
Look, for 2 seconds of that lady's life, she got to be honest again. Good for her. But it's
and now she'll forever be immortalized as a meme.
She's a Galaxy meme, and we don't have a whole lot of memes of people. Like she's a Galaxy meme now and forever.
Hey, at GCD553 wants to know how it compares to Portland Tuck.
I mean, I don't know how he's asking the question. Like
are you talking about like the atmosphere?
Yeah, the atmosphere.
Oh, come on. It pales in comparison.
And I wouldn't even like what times I've been to Portland, like it's not even like as great as people say it is.
The loudest cheer of the night. The loudest cheer of the night happened when someone tackled the ball off Zlatan. Not any of the 3 goals, not their designated player scoring a goal, not their beloved Latif Blessing scoring 2 goals. The loudest cheer of the night from the entire stadium was someone tackling the ball off Zlatan when they were losing 3-1. You won't believe it. Every person who hasn't been to that game, you will not believe it until you witness it with your own eyes. Like I've been following MLS for 15 years. I've never seen some shit like that. I've never seen a place like that. It's crazy. It blew me away. I was surprised. I was genuinely surprised at how disappointed I was. But there's they got the fucking bird. This fucking weird fucking bird,
falcon.
Man. And
what does that have to do with anything?
I could not tell you. I can tell you that LAX started chanting "fuck that bird" and then "fuck that pigeon," and then started screaming at LAFC people about animal cruelty and how if they actually cared about animals, they would let that bird go free, which is a pretty good argument. once the game finally kicked off. Well, first off, they had us sitting in the sun for like an hour and a half, cooking, which nobody complained, nobody gave a shit. We just ate it and kind of dealt with it, and then they opened the gates, I guess 20 or 30 minutes later, and started letting fans pile in. But we walked down to go to the restroom after the gates had opened. You walk right through a fucking crowd of them. Nobody's got a word to say. I'm sure all the worst, diehard supporters are kept on the other side and what have you. But at least
All
as
the
far
camo wearers.
at least as far as I saw, like we walked. You know what? Camo is genuinely better than how everyone else in that stadium is dressed, because you saw the pictures online. The lady with the LAFC dress and all the other nonsense, and
It's ridiculous.
it's cringy from the moment you walk in the door until they let you leave. Like it's awful, man. It's awful. And I'm sure in a couple of years they'll kind of get their shit together, and most of those like super douchey people will kind of take off, and then they'll be left with their most hardcore fans. But everything about it, you look at it and you go, 3 bad seasons and they're going to fold this team.
Oh, I'm just waiting until they don't get the extra allocation money.
Couple bad
See how
seasons.
that works for them.
Couple bad seasons and all of those people are gone.
It's LA, man. You got to have a winning team.
Yeah, we got to have a winning team, but there also has to be this foundation of who and what you are. This kind of build to what you are, and it's not like that anymore. It's you go to those games to be seen at those games, I guess. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was there, and that broke my fucking heart.
Yeah, he's dead to me
That
now.
broke my heart. Yeah, it's a goddamn shame. Kobe Bryant just keeps going higher and higher on that list of Lakers.
Yeah.
He's down with the Galaxy. But yeah, it was just disappointing. It was really, really, really disappointing.
Should we talk about the game now? It's 40 minutes in.
Hey, you asked me, man.
No, I love
I'm
it.
not even done. There's so much more.
We'll pepper it in, or well, you know what? Let's do.
We can pepper it in.
Or we can do a Patreon show.
No. Oh, no. Everyone who listens to this needs to know what that place is like.
All right. Let's talk about the game though. We got to talk about it a little bit at least. Zlatan scores in.
Andrew said Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is old and senile.
Yeah, you know what? They might have forced him to do.
There was a time I would have defended him, but now he's dead. Rest in peace.
And then Chuck Liddell, he's just been hit too many times on the head.
He definitely had no idea.
Yeah, CTE has no idea.
He thought he was on Expendables 4.
Yeah, and just poor Chuck Liddell. So let's talk about the game. Zlatan with a brace. Pavone gets his first ever Galaxy goal. Yeah, that first 15 minutes, man. Best 15 minutes.
It's an advertisement for the league.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, absolute advertisement for the league. I don't know how anyone comes out of that game, whether you're watching at home or certainly if you were in the stadium, without and says, this isn't a rivalry. This isn't a rivalry game.
I don't think anyone says that. I think everyone.
I literally heard it on the podcast we did like 5 days ago.
Well, I know. I hear it's not a rivalry until they win a game. It's like, well, no.
Well, then it's not.
That's not how it works. But if you hear all the soccer heads, everyone, like, if you go on the social medias, people are calling this the best rivalry in MLS.
It's the best rivalry in MLS,
and it's absolutely right.
Every
game has been a banger.
The energy.
Every game has been fun.
The energy in that stadium, for as small as it is and as compact and as tight as it is and all that, the energy inside that stadium points towards, maybe not today, but someday soon, this is going to be something big. When hopefully the Galaxy get to a point where they can expand their stadium, or LAFC expands whatever ends up happening. I don't agree with the idea that we should be looking to move these games to the Rams Stadium or to the Rose Bowl or any of that other corporate fucking marketing bullshit.
Keep it intimate. I love it.
Well, what bothers me about the people who say we should consider moving to a football stadium is, like, I don't hear supporters saying that. I hear people who have specifically said, I'm not a supporter. Or I hear people who work for the Galaxy saying, like, yeah, maybe one day we'll move it to a football stadium. What does that do? If they're going to lower ticket prices to $4 and they move it to the Rose Bowl, then move it to the Rose Bowl.
But they're not going to do that.
But if you're going to keep prices at $35 face value, what do you get out of moving it to these gigantic cavernous venues outside of more money for these organizations, which is the end game? I understand that. But keep it in these, like, tight, intimate environments, and you actually have an opportunity to grow something out of it.
I wonder how much do teams make off of, like, revenue from if they moved it to, say, a 60,000 seater
I
stadium.
think a lot of the way MLS teams make their money is at the gate,
Okay.
just because so many things are kind of profit shared.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like, it's just everything. I mean, technically, everything is MLS money.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues with the MLS model is the fact that right now they're making most of their money off the gate, or at least they were as of like 5-6 years ago. That's what they're claiming.
Mm-hmm.
Versus most leagues make most of their money off television revenue.
Yeah,
so
and
we're just not there yet.
And we're not, and we may be inching closer to that in the next 2 or 3 years with the TV deals, but outside of just raking in more cash, I don't know what moving to a gigantic venue is going to do. I mean, I also at the same point, I see why LAFC is so like stingy about their tickets. It's a fucking tiny building. It's so goddamn small. If they gave that is really what it comes down to. If they gave the Galaxy a significant allotment of tickets, if they gave the Galaxy 1,000 tickets, just off of what I just finished hearing from the 3252 in the biggest game of their season, we run that fucking building.
Yeah.
They give us 1,000 tickets, we run that goddamn.
Well, they'd
building.
have to turn their mics up on their fans.
Ooh, coming in hot.
I know you just hear individual voices. I don't know how you can do that on television, but
God, it's such a fucking embarrassment.
I guess so, whatever. But let's talk, okay. Going back to the game, let's talk about that first goal. You have a nice play from Pavone with Shelvik. You get this goal reminded me of a classic Keenan Donovan goal, where Keenan would hold up the ball, and like Landon would make that cutting run inside, and then Keenan would slot that ball to Landon. That's exactly how this goal felt to me, and it was very nice to see a goal happen through the middle of the field.
Yeah,
it was so nice.
Get built up.
So nice.
Yeah, on that point, you could absolutely go back, 6, 7, 8 years and find that exact goal. What you just said.
Carbon copy.
Yeah,
carbon copy.
Exactly.
You saw that constantly happen with Keenan Landon.
Well, the part I enjoyed the most about it, and seeing it live, you do get a feeling of it, but kind of getting home and getting to rewatch it and see all the angles. There is a half a moment where Pavone just almost loses the ball. He did the same thing against Seattle. Just almost loses the ball. But there's this he just, and it's gonna sound a little sexual, ladies and gentlemen, but he just kind of stretches for an extra inch, just a little extra, just a wee bit more tip.
Arch the back a little bit.
Yeah, make it work. Just get a little deeper in there. And he retains possession. He's the exact same carbon copy thing of the Seattle game. And then gets that pass into Zlatan, and
it's insane how quickly he can get the ball off his feet and just go around defenders.
And how hard it is to get it off of him.
Yeah.
When he wants to keep it, he more often than not, when he wants to keep it, he can keep it. And if it's time to get rid of it, he's going to get it right to where it's got to go. But that's that pass that you're always seeing Zlatan going like, no, here.
Yeah.
Not over there. Why would you fucking here? Here's where I need it. That's that extra. That's that difference that he was talking about with Pavone. That's little bit of special. That little spark. He knows where he sees 2 plays in advance. He sees not where it's got to be, but where it's going, and he knows where Zlatan's going based on his movement, and it gets the ball into him perfectly. And Zlatan scores, stands right in the corner, and is like, busts out the Megan Rapinoe celebration, which is what I assume he was going for, and he was like, oh crap, went fucking apeshit. You can't understand. You have no recollection outside of an MLS Cup how goddamn loud the Galaxy section was. I mean, we were insufferable that whole game. If you were an LAFC fan sitting anywhere near us, I would apologize for you having a horrible night.
Would you though?
But I don't care about you or your life or your happiness or your existence or any of that shit. So it doesn't really matter. But goddamn, it was good. That was a fun moment. Well, one of those type of goals, those type of moments where you just look, every person within 10 feet of you is your best friend that you've known since you were in elementary school.
High-fiving.
You motherfuckers!
Fucking get in!
Yeah, oh God, it was good. It was good.
And then LAFC ties it up 10 minutes later with what I can only assume is Shelvik being Shelvik and just literally standing there like a cone. Just ball watching.
Doing what Shelvik does, man.
Well, he gets the deflection, and there's an earlier chance that gets passed through LAFC through the middle. It's going out to Carlos Vela. He gets a deflection at almost. I mean, Vela probably should have taken the shot. It might have been the reason he got yanked a little later in the game. But But he probably should have. He seemed like he had a clear shot on Bingham, who parries the ball like crazy. He has, I think, 3 or 4 other LAFC attackers in front of him. Shoot the ball low and get a deflection, see what happens. But it was another typical Jorgen Sjovic night. It was ball watching and blind mistakes, left, right, and center. But that's what that's who he is and what he does.
Yeah. I don't understand. Well, I mean, I understand. We literally don't have anyone else to play as a left back position with Polenta being out. Or it's not Polenta, Steres.
With
sorry.
Steres being out, yeah.
Yeah. It's just literally he just watches the ball as it's floating over, and then who is it? Vela that heads it back in.
No, it's oh shit, and it's Diego Rossi.
Diego Rossi.
Yeah, Vela crosses it over. Rossi heads it.
No, it's Betashore that crosses it.
It's Betashore. You're right.
And it looked like he's offside, but I don't know.
I don't think he's off.
It looked like he's off.
But he crosses. Well, I mean, for the sake of argument, let's call him off. But he crosses over.
But we're not
Diego
getting
Rossi.
that call, so it's fine.
Oh, we can talk about that in a second.
Yeah,
but, yeah. Betashore crosses to Rossi. Rossi crosses back to Blessing, and Bingham and Leggett kind of go for it in the net. Basically, Bingham swipes and misses.
Well, he gets a hand to it.
He touches it.
Yeah.
And Leggett. See, we couldn't see that from there. And then Leggett is like jumping on the line to try. The midfielder is like, I will do whatever I can to keep the ball out. The highest paid defender in the organization stands there as the forward he's supposed to be watching runs off his shoulder because he's not paying any attention.
No.
And he like a spectator watches the play unfold. It's
Because
crazy.
he literally watches as the cross comes in and as the ball gets headed back in, and he's just standing there watching the entire time.
His lack of focus and lack of effort and determination has got to border on the criminal. Like he's not directly responsible for that. It's weird because he's not directly responsible for the goal. But at the same time, he probably could have kept it from ever happening.
I'm sorry, Hammerby, if you're listening, it wasn't his fault. It was definitely Leggett and Bingham's fault on that.
This is the issue. This is the Hammerby version?
Hammerby,
This is the Hammerby version. This is the issue.
Ben, we'll cut that out, and this will be the Hammerby version.
Slice this one back
that
out.
in.
This is the issue. He's already defending so many world-class forwards that he can't. I mean, there's one extra that comes tearing on. Latif Blessing, obviously one of the top players in the
Who
league.
looks like he's dying, right?
I mean,
Like he looks like he has an illness.
don't say that. He's very sensitive. I don't know if you've heard. He's extremely, look.
I think he's got AIDS.
Did you know he?
Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
Why would you? Gio's gone. So
It's a word on the street, man. It's a word on the street.
You had a lot of problems with minorities.
I'm saying it's a word on the street, man.
All right.
It's the truth.
He has AIDS.
He couldn't have been like hepatitis or something.
Full blown.
Full blown.
Wow.
Not even HIV. Full blown AIDS.
Wow.
Those super AIDS.
Oh man.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
I can't. I don't want to get on board with you.
It's Ed's fault we got off on this. He's the one who said he looked like he was dying.
He does look like he's
Well,
sick.
he does look like
He looked like he got AIDS.
But why has it got to be AIDS? Like, why can't it be something potentially he could heal from?
He looked like 1990 Freddie Mercury.
Oh God. Hey, right, man. That's my man's, dude. What are you doing?
I just watched Bohemian Rhapsody again on the weekend.
It's a good movie. This is for Daniel Montjoy. Mega AIDS.
Well, he put it in all caps, so.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. That's why you got it. Mega AIDS.
Yeah, so if you guys are watching this, if you're listening to this live, go to the YouTube, youtube.com/Riot Squadcast. That's where the fun happens in the live chat.
Fredo's like, they got cures now.
If you got money.
He can live with it.
If you got money.
He just got a new 5-year extension.
Les ain't got that money.
But I couldn't believe it.
I can cure your like hepatitis money, but he ain't got that like.
That was one of those moments where for Blessing's goal where you're, usually when you're inside the stadium, it's a little harder to see those individual moments that kind of cost you shit. Every time we get scored on now, and I know he's playing,
You just
I look for him. So I'm watching anytime we're on defense, I look for Sjelvik because I'm like, what is he going to do? Like, what's he possibly going to fuck up today? Turns out a lot. Turns out the first.
Apparently nowadays it's usually like if there's a goal that goes in, it's like either damn it Bingham or damn it Jorgen.
Yeah.
So it's one or the other.
That was the damn it Jorgen.
Yeah, that was. And then not too long after though, Zlatan's like, nah, ain't happening.
Nah, son.
Nah. With a nice.
Jonah won a header and chested it to Fabio, I think.
Yeah.
Who chips it just over. Is it Walker Zimmerman? It's Walker Zimmerman.
I'm pretty sure it's Pavone who does the chip in again.
No. He only
No?
got, no. It's he got 1 assist.
I think he got 2 assists.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Fabio Alvarez. Either way, it's Fabio.
Oh yeah, sorry.
But who just barely skims the top of Walker Zimmerman's head.
Yeah.
Just like it definitely gets a piece on it.
Enough to make Zlatan onside again.
Oh, and then he
was definitely off.
and then he does what he does, which is embarrass the living shit out of Tyler Miller. Like owns that dude.
Again, shades of Landon, who would just like literally one-on-one with the goalkeeper, step aside, and then
Dink. But that was a little Robbie Keane-ish dink.
yeah,
a little control
yeah.
step. And then of course does the Beckham Portland 2012 pose.
I love that.
Love it.
I love that. I just love seeing their fans go ape shit.
I like having a firm belief. Like I like knowing my players don't like my rivals, and I know he doesn't like LAFC. I think he doesn't like a lot of teams in the league. I think he doesn't really like the league, but I know he doesn't like LAFC.
Yeah.
And I don't know. After that, I'll probably never say a bad word.
This is
about
now 8 goals in 5 games against LAFC. Insane.
He has more goals than Vela in El Tráfico.
Yeah.
In less games. Although you wouldn't know that following ESPN, who had Vela halfway down their throat like the day after.
Well, you're talking about Carlos Vela, who was MLS Player of the Week for some reason.
Which came out immediately after the game.
Yeah. But whatever.
Whatevs.
So it's 3-1. Or no, sorry, 2-1 at that point.
Yeah.
And then
it got better.
a minute later, Pavon with again, I'm reiterating, but wasn't that not a Landon Donovan goal where he cuts inside, slips and shoots the ball?
Slips and gets I think it gets a deflection as well.
Like that. I remember Landon Donovan scoring goals like that.
Hey man, it
just brought me back to classic like 2012, like those top years. Like it brought me back to those years.
Back when soccer was fun.
Yes, and we were still making playoffs constantly. But I mean, it was just good to see, and Pavon was all about it.
Pavon's in.
He's so in.
Yeah, he's bought in.
He's so bought in, and I can't. I
well, that's
love
what
it.
we were talking about during the whole like protracted transfer. If and when it gets done, you're going to have a guy who is so incredibly bought in, because we look at the trouble that we went through just to get him in. You know you're going to play every game. You know we're going to, at least in part, build a system to work for you, because you're the guy. You're going to be the guy here, and you're going to be an important piece, and we're going to take care of you, and we're going to pamper you, and you'll be able to walk around LA, and no one's going to fuck with you. Like you're just going to be okay. You get to live your life here. You get to be a soccer player. You get to rehab, figure your shit out. He's in, man. He's in 100%. He's magical to watch live.
Oh, dude, on TV, my man is smooth.
Every time he gets the ball, he gets swarmed. He gets swarmed in the same way Zlatan does, in the same way Keane and Landon did, to the best of people's ability. Like the moment he gets on, there's a guy man marking him, and then there's defenders zonally marking him.
Oh, and
he'll shift to his side,
and he'll get double, triple timed at points.
And most of the time it doesn't really matter.
And he's so good. He can either gets a pass away or dribbles around him. He's so damn good, and I cannot wait till this guy gets a full preseason with the team, and we build it around him.
The preseason's gonna be fun, and the rebuild's gonna be fun, because you go out and get a left back that's gonna work with him. You go out and get it. The beauty of having most of that attacking core kind of sorted out. We need to work on the defense. We know that. You bring in Giancarlo, who was fine. You bring in Giancarlo, you bring in Polenta, and Polenta did as best you can do with a mixture of Romney and Sjelvik to his left. But Polenta doesn't play that left back side that necessarily complements Pavon's game. Not just yet. He works his ass off, but he's not as good on a cross as you'd probably like for someone who can overlap on that side. But because you've got Pavon sorted, nothing to worry about. Okay, well, I need someone who's going to play to his specific attributes. Someone who can overlap in the way we need him to, someone who can cross, someone who can pass, who's going to keep an eye out for him, someone where they're going to be able to get along, speak together. We got that aspect locked up. Don't have to worry about it. So we have to replace that guy fucking anyway, because he's garbage. And we're going to have so much money to fucking replace him with.
Yeah.
Next season, and as you say, with a full preseason under his belt, Christian Pavon is going to light this league the fuck up next year. It's going to be beautiful.
He's doing it on like 3 weeks, man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine him being here and like settled in. This is him just getting here.
This is him playing soccer regularly for the first time in like 8 months.
Yeah.
I mean, he is going to be like this. This was the other thing. This was the game. Like, as a Galaxy fan, being concerned about when you lose a game to LAFC, this should have been it.
What was it? 80% that we were gonna lose this game, something like that.
Yeah, 79.
This was it, because next year, say Zlatan's gone.
And to be fair, every game has been like, hey, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, but
Like LAFC was always favored. Like since we started playing these games.
I keep telling everybody it. I've been telling you. I've genuinely been telling you since the 4-3 El Trafico game. It can't happen. It won't happen. It's not possible. And one day it might happen, but right now it ain't fucking possible. You know why? Because sometime between now and when next season starts, a meteor might hit the planet. I don't want that to happen, but if it happens, I die in a world where LAFC has never beaten a Galaxy. That doesn't make it. That doesn't.
Well, no one
doesn't
will
help, but it makes it a little bit better.
No one will know that because everyone will be dead.
Well, the aliens will know, of course. Jesus will know, Ed. Come on.
Oh, because everything's recorded in the cloud, right?
Yeah. It's all up there.
So when the aliens come, they're like, "Oh snap, they never lost to this other team.
They're like,
Clearly, who was better?"
the aliens are just waiting on St. Michael to deliver the game, and they're like, "Oh shit, they still couldn't beat him. They'll never beat him. Oh well."
And then just rename planet Earth as LA Galaxy. I'm like, guys, have you visited?
Look, I'm willing to take this. I'm willing to take this meteorite strike if we can name the planet LA Galaxy. I'm kind of on board with this.
Or it just renames the whole galaxy LA.
So I don't get.
Because you're part of the LA Galaxy.
This should be everyone in the league's kind of understanding of the Galaxy quote unquote rule bending and rule breaking. Yes, we got Christian Pavone on a free loan, but we also have to play Jorgen Sjovic.
Yeah, I mean it's balanced.
You win some, you lose some, ebbs and flows. We're all kind of figuring this shit out together, but we still have to play Sjovic, and he's off. I mean, we could have played Didi Traore, and he would have done as good of a defensive job as Jorgen Sjovic. I mean, awful.
I mean, that awful is not even. It's not even. You can't even start to describe it as awful. It was just non-existent.
Mm-hmm. Nico Fachot in the live chat right now.
Nico Fachot
brings up a great point. A speedy striker with this team would be insane. I was reading LAFC fans saying, well, or you were mentioning it rather, we'll wait till next season when Zlatan leaves. And it's like, well, what do you think happens with that
Who
money?
do you think we're going to bring in?
What do you think's going to
$7 million?
Like, where do you think we spent $20 million on Christian Pavone to lose to the Columbus Crew? Like, how do you think this works?
Well, we didn't spend $20 million on Christian Pavone.
But look, in the cloud, Ed. But what do you think we're bringing these guys in for? Like, what do you think's happening? What do you think's getting built? This is the turnaround in a season where coming into the year we were like, we're going to be financially handicapped because of the decisions of prior administrations. Next year, we get to start shifting a lot of dead weight and clearing up a lot of money to do a whole lot of fucking good. Sjovic is an international spot and $1 million. So go out and get an international Argentinian left back that plays in a similar vein to Christian Pavone.
And that'll cost you like $300,000.
That'll cost you $500,000. You have $500,000, you got another $400 sitting in the bank in TAM. Good to go.
You want to get some cheap, great players? Got to go to Colombia, man.
Well, you look defensively. Just look at the team defensively, and we're going to shift gears just a little bit. Look at the team defensively, right? On the defensive side, what needs to get replaced? You could make the argument for a defensive midfielder.
I don't know.
You could make the argument for it, especially at his price point. You can make the argument for a defensive midfielder, a left back, and a right back. If you choose to keep Perry Kitchen, right? Who are the main two you need to flip?
Definitely you're gonna have to flip Shelvick.
Mm-hmm.
And on their money, I mean, you have to do Kitchen, unless he comes back at a significantly lower price.
But you could flip on the defensive side where we could use an upgrade. Shelvick, Felcher.
Yeah.
Regularly.
Well, Felcher doesn't make that much though. Either.
But regularly, Felcher and Shelvick are the two big sore, eyesores, whatever you want to call them. They're the problematic end on the defense.
You probably bring in a better goalkeeper too.
But maybe. But that's maybe. And again, you can make the argument, or at least cheaper, depending on where the salary cap kind of ends up. But replacing Felcher and Shelvick, that's what, about 1.5 million, give or take, somewhere in that area. Around 1.5 million for Felcher and Skjelvik and their 2 international spots. So even if you're getting rid of those guys and clearing up their money, clear up Skjelvik. To their earlier conversation, clear up Skjelvik and sign a $500,000 Argentinian left back. Right? He still got 800 grand on the other, roughly 800 grand on the other
Here's
side.
the thing that I honestly think, and I'm not trying to blow him up too fast, but Araujo can play that right back spot.
The beauty of Araujo is he doesn't have to play it yet. I'm all for, he's young, let's get him minutes, let's get him competitive and on the field. I'm concerned about him potentially capping or something going wrong and it kind of halting his development. But the bottom line is, in U.S. soccer, we need to get the age down for when players are competing for minutes at a first team level. If you got a guy like him who can regularly play at least decently, who will hopefully eventually build into the right back that you want, yeah, play him. But we got 1.1 million, just about 1,066,000 for Skjelvik. And where is Felcher? And 242,000 for Felcher.
That's what I'm saying.
1.3 for 2 internationals.
Yeah, Felcher. If you're paying Felcher under 300,000, I think you keep him.
I think if you can make the case to start 80,000 18-year-old Julian Araujo, why are you wasting? And he's going to get bonuses next year. So why are you wasting what'll probably be at least in the neighborhood of like 350,000 on Felcher?
Not that much.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Oh yeah, I mean it'll be his 3rd year of his contract. He's going to make some money next year. Like he's going to be making more, and we're going to have some money to keep him around if we want to. But Skjelvik will be out of contract. You could buy Felcher out if you needed to. You probably don't need to, but you could if you want to.
Well, that 3rd year is probably an option year too. So
if it's an option year, I decline it. I decline it and move on.
Absolutely, you're not going to pay $250 for a backup right back. You're just not.
And you're going to pay more than 250 for him.
Because you're not going to keep Araujo off the field next year.
That's this is probably a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the game. Let's talk about how big of a game Jonah had, man, and just the love you see that he's building for this club. I mean, he after the was it the Pavone goal, he grabs the crest and kisses it in front of the 3-2-5-2. I
have a GIF of it as well if anybody wants it.
GIF. But yeah,
it's not.
It is graphic. It's whatever. But yeah, I mean him kissing
the word, but I mean,
but it's not
GIF.
it's not giraffic, but whatever. Okay.
No, it's not, but it is GIF.
So Jonah kisses the badge. I mean, it just seems every time that he plays for a club, it's just more and more that you see he's going to bleed for this club.
I hate to bring up a bad character. A dementor, if you will.
Don't say it. He who should not be named.
How bad of an influence is Giovanni Dos Santos?
Speaking of being cured, right? He got cured of his cancer.
Jonathan has blossomed.
And that cancer was Giovanni Dos Santos.
But he's absolutely blossomed since Gio left. I mean, not even just on the field, not even just watching him play, but the emotion that you seem to get from him. He looks genuinely happy to be here. He looks like he's having a good time competing, and we win more. Like we're doing better than we were last year. We were doing better basically since he's gotten here, but he seems to enjoy playing soccer now, and he seems to specifically have I don't want to be one of those fans that kind of buys into all the crest kissing, but he seems like someone who is genuinely bought in on representing the Galaxy and being a memorable force in this region for one of the biggest teams, knowing that he's likely the next captain if Zlatan steps away next year.
And I love too that, this whole like, hey, if you play for MLS, you're never going to play for your country. But now, again, Jonathan and Antuna have both been called back up with Mexico again. So I love that he can play football with us and still be called up to Mexico and showing that, hey, if you come to the Galaxy, you're going to get looks on your national team.
Well, Jonathan seems more enshrined in the Mexican national team now than he ever did in the past. And Uriel, apologies, I just learned. Uriel, I'm working on it.
It's Uriel.
It's not, apparently it's not.
It's fine.
Bro, I just got a whole bunch of shit about this. Uriel. Hey, if I can pronounce...
That's not even his first name.
If I can pronounce Jeff Laurentowicz, fuck. See, it's gone. Whatever. He doesn't play for my team anymore. Yeah, apparently it's Uriel. I don't know. Whatever. But he is on the...
That's not even... His name is Carlos.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If he is on the national team and he is able to get into the national team, specifically for playing for the Galaxy and his play for us. Why wouldn't you come here? As a young player who's not going to do anything in Manchester City or whichever third division European team they're
He's
going to
gonna
loan
go
all their players to,
VVV Venlo.
why wouldn't you come here? Like, why wouldn't you come to, you get to play in Los Angeles, you get to be surrounded by compatriots. The Galaxy are going to take care of you. They're first-class run organization, and not only will you be able to stay in your national team, we're now an avenue that's getting you into your national team. Like, it's a beautiful setup. It's like we're back. It's like we're at least working towards getting back. I mean, that's what more could you ask for?
No, and I love, you know what, with this setup with Leggett and Jonah, I think we've definitely found the pairing going forward.
Probably, yeah. I think this at least until everyone gets yeah. I mean, it should be. Kitchen is my hope for any moment where we're needing to be specifically defensive. Away to Seattle might be one of those moments, but the way Jonathan is playing, if Leggett is the catalyst for that, I mean, you have to play him.
I mean, since Leggett's been back with and playing that center mid role with him, I mean, the team has looked. I mean, you'd probably give it a little bit that's a Pavone as well, but the team has looked better. Yeah, we've given up goals, but you know, it's just we're defensively shaky, but with Leggett and Jonah in the middle, I mean, the guys are just workhorses, man.
Well, part of the thing is once the transfer window closes, if you're defensively shaky, if you're defensively questionable, the moment the transfer window closes, you put the best players on the field that's going to get the best results out of everyone. There's only so much you can do, and we're at a point now where it's like everyone's healthy, everyone's back. Polenta, Steris, Giancarlo, and Felcher, that's your back line. Is it the best back line in MLS? No. Like, flat out no.
I mean, we've shown it's literally the middle of the league.
It's flat out no. And arguably, it's not the best back line in Los Angeles. But it's the best back line we got. So you need your attacking core to kind of complement them, help them out as best they can. But it seems like going forward for the rest of our season, the goal is going to be shoot as much as you can, score as much as you can, because some combination of Felcher, Shelvik, Steris, Giancarlo, Polenta are probably, Bingham, to be fair, probably going to give up a goal or two or three. So we need to figure out a way to get to 3 first, and then we need to figure out a way to get to 4 so that we can kind of solidify. I don't think you win a championship needing to score 4 goals every game, especially if we're in the end of August and Steris is still our second leading goal scorer on 3.
Yeah.
You know, like as long as that's, I'm sure
tied now with Fabio, right?
Fabio didn't score.
No, I know, but I think Fabio has 3 now in the season. Or does he still have 2?
Ben is nodding his head between 2 microphones for some reason, so the answer is yes. But you know, it's even if you're tied, you have a center back who's tied for your top goals. We're gonna if scoring 4 goals a game is the way we're going forward, we're not going to win an MLS Cup. But these are problems that are going to get fixed next year. Whether Zlatan's still here while we're fixing them is a different question, but they're things that'll get fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I was a guy who wrote off Leggett. I'm like, get him off the team. Like that was my position. Like, if he can play like this though, I'll keep him. I'll keep him. Keep him and Becky G in LA. Yeah, let's go back to the game. Are we happy with the 3-3 result?
What do you think, Ben?
You know,
and not not the moral victory. Moral victory, yes.
Yeah,
we're happy that we didn't lose.
Moral victory, I'll go ahead and answer that one for you.
Yeah.
If you would have told me going into the game, we're gonna get points out of this game, I would have been ecstatic.
Yeah, you picked a 3-1 loss.
Yeah, I did. So yeah, I'm happy with the 3-3 result. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen us hold on.
Even after watching the game and going up 3-1?
Yeah, I mean, after going up 3-1, you know, it's a little disappointing, but when you get a minute and you step away and you realize, A, they can't beat us. You know, B, we got points on the road. You know, yeah, I'll take that result.
If that game was 5 or 10 minutes longer, they would have beat us.
Yeah.
But it ain't 5 or 10 minutes longer. So they didn't fucking beat us. I said around halftime we needed one more. Nothing in me felt like we were going to hold on for 45 more minutes. And we came out in the second half looking more gassed than we walked out of the first half. I don't know what's happening in the locker room, if they're running fucking wind sprints in there or what, but everyone came out, they were exhausted. And we played a lot of games, spent a lot of minutes.
Well, you saw in the end of that first half. I mean,
everyone's done.
It
was walking wounded. And I get it. Zlatan even said, they interviewed him at the end and they were asking, like, why couldn't you put away? I think he had one more, like, kind of gilded chance, and
he said, yeah, sorry, I was tired.
He was like, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic is saying, I'm tired. Like, that's not something he does. Imagine how tired he must be. But he's playing 90 minutes in every game at 38 in a compacted schedule. Like, he, contrary to his personal belief and the personal belief of Galaxy social media accounts, like, he's a human being. There's only so much he can do. And he showed in that game why it was folly of us to not sign anyone to play forward, to come in for him, but you can't or don't sub him out. And now we're in a position where if he has to walk around the field, he walks around the field because we don't have anyone to bring in for him.
Yeah, I gotta say, the moral victory, I'm ecstatic that they have yet to beat us again. We are undefeated against them. We still have that over them, even though some of them have claimed, like, yeah, well, you can't beat us at our home stadium. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, we're still losing in the stands.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've heard.
We're not shoulder to shoulder. I'm irked that we couldn't get that victory. Like, it was in our hands. We had it in our hands, and we couldn't hold on to that 3-1.
We were, and I don't really know how it plays out on TV yet. I actually genuinely just got the file sent to me from St. Michael, which is going in the records. Thank you again, Michael. So I'll rewatch it probably in the next day or so and kind of build my opinion on it. And we can talk about it next week.
Oh yeah, it absolutely. Like you said, 5 minutes, we probably would have lost the game.
In the stadium, it hurts to say, man, because we are the LA Galaxy, and we shouldn't be thrilled about draws. We shouldn't be thrilled about ties. We are an organization that should exclusively celebrate championships. That's what we do. Even if you win a game, it's like, good, you did your job. Congratulations. Keep on going. And then when you win a championship, that's when you smile and you take a deep breath. But losing that game is what's unacceptable. Like,
yeah.
Losing that game is what I can't tolerate. I'll take a draw. You know what a draw gives me? A draw buys me 8 or 10 months of absolute shit talk.
If we see them in the playoffs.
If we see them in the playoffs, yeah. I mean, who knows? But, and if we see them in the playoffs, we will see them away. We will see them at their stadium.
Yeah.
Which, worst comes to, we just take it apart piece by piece and just throw it in a river or something. Nobody's even going to notice it.
Well, like them and San Jose, it's just they're made of Lego blocks, so it doesn't really matter.
Pretty much. The section we were in was concrete, and it was like shaking as we were jumping at it, which I was like, oh man, we're gonna get a bad situation here going. There's a lot of big boys here.
There's a lot of us out here, man. I mean, it's on concrete. We're making concrete.
A lot of LBs bouncing on that.
Yeah,
concrete.
yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk Big Tony's email. While Ed was absent the last show, he sent in his prediction as a 2-2 draw, with Chris and Ben predicting more definitive outcomes, a win and a loss, respectively. Ed was the only one to get points this week. Since he correctly predicted the outcome, Ed grabs 1 point.
It begins.
Inching himself ever closer to Ben. Chris still leads with 19. Ben is second at 18. And Ed is now a mere 8 points behind the lead at 11 points. Coming for you, boys. Coming. With 7 games left, Ed is going to need to get some 2 and 3 point predictions to win it all. Listener predictions. Even though the game was on Sunday evening, there were only 28 participants. Some listeners at the top of the standings, like Walter, Sharkboy, and Ephraim, didn't even play. Wow. Perhaps they are so confident in their ability to correctly predict the games, they are trying to make it sporting for everyone else. Anyway, 5 participants predicted a draw. Richard C., David S., David K., Andrew Alisana, Capo Supremo, and Noah. However, only Richard correctly predicted a 3-3 draw, but not the goal scorers, which means we have changes at the top of the table, boys.
Wow.
Richard now leads the pack with 20 points, all by his lonesome, while I'm spinning on my computer. Danny and Ethan now trail by 2 points at 18, and Luis L. is still third at 17. There's still some time for mid-table people to make a comeback and win it all, but it's going to require some accuracy. If you don't have at least 2 points after the Sunday's game, you will be eliminated mathematically, assuming Richard C. doesn't get any points. Wow. New leaders, boys. And I'm coming for you. Slowly but surely, I'm coming for you.
Tuck, that means the listeners are ahead of you now, man.
Oh no,
Whatever shall he do?
I'm whooping both of your bitch asses. I have the championship belt that I want. I assume the
We'll
listeners.
see. We'll see.
Well,
We'll
hey,
see you
look.
hold on to it. We'll see you hold on to it.
Hey, it's heavy right now. You let me. It might get lighter. I don't know.
Hey, trust
But
me.
right now, it's heavy as shit.
Tuck, I know.
Tuck is
exactly-
at like Intercontinental Champion level right now.
No.
I know how heavy that belt is.
I'm
Tuck.
doing
I-
NWA 10 pounds of gold.
I
Suck
had
it.
that belt all off season. I know how heavy it is.
Oh yeah. Well, you remember how heavy it is. You don't know how heavy. I've made some alterations, so we'll get into it later. I might let you hold it. We'll see if you're good.
All right. Looking forward. Sunday, the Galaxy travel back to Pacific North. Before we start, anything else on the LAFC game you guys want to talk
Jonathan, 9 tackles in a game.
9 tackles.
Slide tackling for fun is ridiculous. I think he had twice as many as the next highest, which was Diego Polenta, I want to say, at 4. Fabio Alvarez, decent game, but really needs to calm down with the heel flicks.
about? The little cheeky shit, yeah.
We were struggling to maintain possession for long clips of that game, and he would get on the ball and immediately do a cute little heel flick and give it right back up.
He even did it a couple times in like the defensive
In
third,
our- yeah, oh, yeah.
and you're like, ooh, dude, come on.
Everyone was losing their mind. I'm assuming I don't see it on there, so I'll go ahead and bring it up. Alan Chapman, fucking horror show.
Yes, it's a
Um,
sock refereeing.
We had 14 fouls in the whole game. I want to say LAFC had 3. I took a photo to post on Twitter. At the 82nd minute, we had 10 fouls, which means between the 82nd minute and there were 4 minutes of stoppage time. Between the 82nd minute and what would be 94 minutes of game time, we fouled LAFC more times than they fouled us
In the entire
in the
game.
entire fucking game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. Zlatan's gotten 2 yellow cards for dissent off of Alan Chapman.
Well, he was the one that so Zlatan was complaining about Alan Chapman to what's his name? Who's the head of the referees, the director of referees? What is his name?
He's the guy who
Webb.
was
Howard Webb.
Howard Webb.
And like, so this is a problem, and I think Guessman brought it up on the show. Like, if you know this is a problem,
Of all the referees,
why are you putting him in the biggest game of this weekend?
I would imagine the ideology is, look, if he's not going to call it fair, he shouldn't be working there. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but
And
it worked out.
let's be honest, MLS refs are terrible.
They're bad. They've always been bad.
But if you're gonna be bad for both sides.
But this is the first. MLS refs are bad. This is the first time I suspect a ref of being personally vindictive. It was. I mean, I'm telling you, it was laughable. And even inside the stadium, it was laughable how often we were getting calls for nothing. I mean, you take the ball off at least, and we weren't that far because the building's not that fucking big. But from where we could see it, it looked like a clean tackle, foul. Zlatan goes up to win a ball, foul. Zlatan got pushed in the back, foul. And then at what point do you expect the guy to just, not say anything for 90 minutes to someone who is deciding the outcome of a game? He's deciding the outcome of a game. He's not supposed to say word one. It's ridiculous, and he'll get an assignment next week, and that's the problem. Like he'll absolutely get an assignment next week.
Yeah, I wonder how do these refs get reviewed after all these games? Like,
Well, they're supposed to go back through. I can only speak to England. I don't know about
and like write a
here.
report.
They go
shit
well.
right
They go back through, and pro should be going back through and saying, "Well, you got this one wrong. You got this one wrong. What happened? Like, how did you come to the conclusion you came to on this one? Because from what we can see, you're erroneous. You're clearly wrong. So what happened? I don't know how. I mean, unless we genuinely fouled them 14 times to their 3. Like we're playing away to the brand new darlings of the league. We have what appears to be a personally vindictive referee, and we get called for 14 fouls to their 3.
Yeah,
That doesn't seem fucking weird to anybody.
yeah, and I mean, we see Brendan Hannon is now just updating every time that and it's becoming a narrative now that these refs are not calling for Galaxy.
Well, he's right. Like, he's right, and this becomes the problem.
He's technically right, the best kind of correct.
This becomes the problem. He might be wrong. Hannon might be wrong that they're not calling fouls for Zlatan. The math doesn't lie.
He's just putting up numbers, baby.
The number, yeah. Look, It's the exact same argument with David Bingham. All I'm telling you about is the numbers. How you choose to interpret those numbers is entirely up to you. But what I'm going to tell you is somehow Carlos Vela gets called for twice as many fouls as Zlatan. I don't know how it's possible. It doesn't make sense. Zlatan is gigantic and should be in logically really, really hard to defend, to the point that maybe you start fouling him
at least
a little. No. Well, it says either something about the calls for Zlatan, or it says something about Carlos Vela is so good everyone has to foul him, or maybe he's just diving a lot. Maybe it's both of those things, and that's why those numbers are so drastic.
And you tell me the Galaxy's called for 14 fouls, and you get 5 yellow cards out of 14 fouls?
Yeah.
So one every 3
fouls
is a yellow card?
Yeah.
Serious? Really?
Yeah.
Carrasco got a yellow card a minute into him coming to the game.
I think 2 minutes in, yeah. It's nonsense, man. It's fucking nonsense.
It's crazy.
I have never seen something like that. So that was something that absolutely had to be talked about. And then, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, and then I don't know if you want to talk about it now or old girl.
Well, let's get. We have the call.
Okay,
we remember the call. Let's get into the call. Oh
yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah. Can we, before we play?
He literally just started.
I can't hear him.
It's too low anyway. Just pause it. We'll just start it over because it's too low anyway. Go ahead. This is your time.
Talk about how shitty their tifo was, and what the hell does
Paradise City? Oh, Paradise City is.
Guns N' Roses have to do with anything?
Well, it's about, the song is about the Midwest, and it doesn't really have anything to do with Los Angeles, but it's fine. Why would they? Why? I showed Erica and she was like, "Oh, well, that's nice." And I was like, "Yeah, good for them." I figured they wanted to do something. It seemed like they felt they had to do something, but sometimes no effort is better than lazy effort.
Okay, let's get to the call. Turn it up because we can't hear it.
Hey guys, huge fan of the podcast. I was just calling because the whole game, the whole first
maybe
half,
kill the music.
we played relatively well up until the last goal where they got the second right before halftime. That goal doesn't happen if Stairs is in there. Skelvic being forced as the left back and moving Polenta into the center really didn't do much help for us. Polenta kept Vela in his pocket the entire first game. If we have Stairs, that game stays 3-1 going into the half. Changes the rest of the second half, them having to be down by 2 goals going into the second half. We would have won that game pretty handily. Same thing, Rolf Felcher and Skelvic have been a huge detriment to this team defensively. We have Araujo in there as well. Makes somewhat of a difference. We got to shore up the defensive line if we want to actually win, not only take points, but take the win. Because the ties aren't going to do it for us at this point. We've had many opportunities to at least steal the point early in the season. Didn't do it, and we have too many losses to show for that. So as long as we shore up the defense, the team will be going right into the playoffs, playing very solid. So go Galaxy.
Always like the endings of Go Galaxy. That warms my heart.
Does he say his name in the beginning of the call? No? Number?
From the 714.
714. Thank you, caller. Yeah, I completely agree. If Stairs is in that game, you don't play Shelvick. You at least get Polenta out there, who's going to be hassling Vela the whole game, and like he kept it in his pocket against the home game. So I absolutely agree. I think that outcome is definitely different. I think we take the 3 points if Polenta is in there with Stairs.
Well, sure, and I think if Stairs doesn't get
and if you're gonna call, don't call from like your bed or in your closet, like whispering into the phone.
You don't know his situation. He might be abused. He may be abused and grabbed a cell phone, and in lieu of calling the police, calling the authorities,
he's
or
like,
a religious figure, hey,
real quick, let me call it Squadcast.
Let me go slam Shelvick. Let me slam Shelvick after a fucking traffic.
I know you're about to murder me right now. Let me call this podcast real quick.
I just got to deal. I got to talk to my boys real quick.
I need to get this off my chest before you put the knife in my chest.
Felcher rather. We all know Shelvick is what he is. point number one, Steris. If Steris doesn't get sent off against Seattle, we have 4 more points than we do right now. We win the game against Seattle, we win the game against LAFC. I'm extremely confident of that. We're still sitting in second. We're sitting in second by far and away by ourselves. Second's as high as we can kind of accomplish, and we might accomplish that by this weekend. So it's weird because it's not the end of the world, but I would take those 4 points to make sure we lock up.
Last thing is it's so tight.
It's extreme. Yes,
it's like 2 points difference between second and seventh.
Let's see. So I have the standings right now. LAFC's and whatever. RSL's in second at 43 points. Seattle's in third on 43 points. We're in fourth on 42 points. Minnesota's in fifth on 42 points, and San Jose's in sixth on 41 points. It's outside of the top spot. One game swings everyone the other direction. So those points are important. To the point on Felcher, not the best game. I mean, he is what he is. Not the best game in the world, but Diego Rossi didn't have the best game. It could have been drastically better, and you have to attribute some of that to Felcher. He pushed him inside a lot. All of his shots are coming more from the middle. What you would want out of Felcher is to push him out, push him down towards the corner flag and as wide as humanly possible. He kept getting on the inside of him over and over and over again. It's easy to see. Felcher, yes, I agree with you. In my opinion, he has to go. Not this year. Support him, be on his side, help him out, whatever you can do. It's an unanswerable question whether Araujo would have played better or been taken advantage of for his youth more often, for his inexperience. There's nothing you can say. That game has kind of been played and it's done. I would like to see Araujo more in more comfortable games that we feel like there's a chance he could win. In LAFC type matches, I side with playing the more experienced, healthy hand.
Didn't he play as a midfielder in the last one?
He played as a right winger, but you play him as a right winger to help out Felcher, which is why they entirely neutralized Diego Rossi at home. Away to Colorado,
because we've said that Araujo is a better defender.
I think he's a better defender,
but going forward, Ralph is better.
Away to Colorado on the 11th, at home against Kansas City on the 15th, away to RSL on the 25th, and Vancouver, who I like. These are all teams I'm saying, hey, Vancouver's sitting bottom of the league. Start Araujo. That's great competitive minutes in a game we should win pretty comfortably.
And by that time, you're knowing that you're already in the playoffs or not.
Yeah, they've scored hopefully 28 goals. They have a negative 20 goal differential. That's a perfect game to start a young kid. Get him some competitive minutes in a game we should win pretty easily. His defensive brothers should be able to help him out, and I feel better about that than starting him at right back with Bingham and Sjelvik in the side. It's just, it concerns me. I wouldn't want to do anything that would damage his confidence right now.
All right, before we move on to Seattle, let's talk the most disgusting part of this weekend, or the most hilarious part, whichever way you see it. I
choose to look at it like the most on-brand part.
Okay.
The most LAFC part.
And if you have one of those stickers or those pins that has the LAFC hat with the shit underneath
the poop emoji.
The woman who pops a squat.
Susia
girl. Let's call her Susia girl 69.
Susia girl. Oh, there ain't no 69 going over there because there's 0 toilet paper up there, my good friend.
Like she cares.
Clearly doesn't.
We got to give credit. Who was the one that posted the video? Was it Daisy?
I don't know. I've seen, that's the thing. I've seen so many videos of it now.
I think if you follow, and you know who Daisy is, she's a big Twitter Galaxy fan. The video of the woman.
You seen this video, Ben?
Who pops a squat, and because we're having a debate if it was a 1 or 2.
We all decided
it might have been a 3.
We all decided she dropped a deuce.
Then she probably if she pooped, she probably peed at the same time, right?
Is that a thing?
Well, you force it, and come out a little bit.
Force it. I just slides right out of me.
I don't know, man. kind of.
Boom.
A boom, boom, boom.
No. Yeah, if you please.
No, I did see on Twitter that someone was trying to say it was a Galaxy fan in disguise.
Oh yeah, I have it right here.
There's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So if you
we haven't explained what happened yet.
So the woman
we
I did.
it.
The woman pops a squat in the stadium. She's an LAFC fan.
Yeah.
She pops she wasn't.
This
And
is
this is what I asked. This is what I asked Chris, because Chris was there, and I'm like, was she sitting in those seats?
No.
And just like, hey, you know what? I gotta go.
It was a very clear, conscious decision. It was post game. Obviously, if you've ever traveled away, whether LAFC away or San Jose or any other stadium, any rivalry game where we're all kind of in a block together, security is going to make us wait till kind of everyone else that would exit out of that gate kind of flushes out. No pun intended. So we're all waiting, and as fans are kind of slowly leaving, and security, this is the strangest part, as security is kind of ushering people out, this couple won't leave. Like for lack of a better phrase, they just won't leave. And you can just kind of look down, and it's not like the diggity where you look over the rafter and you're far enough away. You're close, but you're far enough away. You're like right over them. It's right there.
It was like the section over, wasn't it?
It's literally the section over. Yeah. So they're right by the stairs, and this dude. And now in hindsight, that I'm thinking about it, he was probably trying to distract us, because it was a couple. Like, she's there with her man, and he's like waving an LAFC scarf or something at us, and he's like, fucking Galaxy puto, blah 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 blah. And we're giving him the business as you normally do, and kind of going back at him, and then you just see her like just kind of peel off. Again, no pun intended. Kind of peel off to the top of that section. So it's not where they were sitting. It's in the same section they were sitting, just not the seat.
That's what I mean. Like, why was it better to go a few rows up?
So her man didn't fucking smell that boo boo, man. It stank.
He should have went down. Like, he should have like ran down. Like, so he's like,
Oh, he is never going down there again. He is avoiding that whole area.
How do you let her in the car? How do you let her back in the car when she didn't wipe her ass?
She didn't wipe. This is the thing. She didn't wipe nothing. So whether she pooed
and she
or
had a
peed,
thong on.
Yeah, man.
If
and
she,
then when she pulled her whole setup up, when she pulled her whole situation back up, like, she went out of her way to moon us, which was like, oh god damn.
She got doo-doo stains on that thong, man.
Yes, doo-doo. You throw doo-doo paper at me? Say, you throw doo-doo paper? Yeah, man, she fucking like she who what?
If it was, even if the
This is the thing.
The best case scenario, if it was piss.
How much better is that?
Yes.
It's better. Let's all agree it's better.
You're pissing on your own stadium.
How much better is it? Look, hold on. We all know where we're at right now. We all know what we're doing, what we're recording, what we talk about. For give me 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Fuck the whole sports thing. Fuck the whole sports, my holy ground, my turf. I literally said a silent prayer when I got back to the StubHub Center. I was so happy to be home. Let's forget all the sports shit for a second. There's a bathroom like 400 feet to the side that no one's in because the fucking stadium is empty. She just made a conscious decision to piss in front of like 700 people as a best case scenario. The best case scenario was she was like, I'm going to pee in front of all these people.
I'll show them.
I was, let's get back into the sports thing now. They're all inhuman. They're all scum and swine. Like, I've never been more certain. Again, keep them. If those are the people that the Galaxy are supposed to feel bad about not being able to attract to the stadium, good. I don't need fucking LAFC people shitting and pissing literally all over my goddamn stadium.
And then the excuse generator comes out. How she was a staged Galaxy person or fan.
Yeah. Because how did she get, they have a clear bag policy. So how did she get a clear bag in? Okay. So your security is terrible because whether she's a Galaxy fan or not, your security allowed someone with a non-clear backpack into the stadium.
Somebody with scatophilia.
What is scatophilia?
Or
fear of restrooms?
Coprophilia.
Oh no, it's an audio medium. I want him to explain it.
It is somebody who is turned on by feces.
Oh man, Nestor was giving her the eye. Nestor was. I think he was trying to.
Oh, it was probably on one his person on his forum that he talks regularly. He was like, "Hey, you know, to get me really hot and like raging boner, I need you to come to this game. I'll buy your ticket. I'll buy you the gear, and need you to at the end of the game. I need you to stay in your seat. Mm-hmm. I need you to like have 2 cups of coffee. Eat like
corn for lunch.
Yeah, eat like whatever, like bean and rice bowl they have there, and I need you to like wash it down with like a Diet Coke and maybe a corn dog
More coffee.
and a second or third coffee.
Yeah.
And just take the biggest shit of your life.
It was fucking
I'm talking
disgusting.
Hulk size poop.
I
Where
never
it looks like someone like left their LAFC jersey because it's shit.
I never in my life imagined I would see a woman clearly, and again, let's roll best case scenario, clearly urinating in public in the obvious, and she looked at us, man, like it's weird. Like I thought I was gonna get taken. Like she was staring. She wasn't like trying to, like the dude was obviously waving, and I know you were rolling up. The dude was obviously waving a scarf at us, trying to like distract us from seeing, which is weird. Like if you're standing in a corner waving a white flag to distract me, but a car is on fire, there ain't no way you can wave that flag where I'm not gonna notice that fucking car. Because it'll be like, hey man, waving that white shit. Can you pick your cell phone up and call the cops? That fucking car is on fire. It's the same thing. He was like, LAFC, and we're like, yo, dude, your girl's fucking shitting up there. Do you know that? Go get her, man. Like, is she right up there? Like, why are you bringing her out this late? Do you have rules from the hospital? Like, it was just the weirdest. It was entirely the weirdest fucking situation I've ever experienced at the tiniest goddamn arena with the stupidest fucking fans. It perfectly encapsulated LAFC away. There was no better button to put on the end of that.
Just seeing
It's some
someone
literal
pissing
piss and shit all over her own building. Ugh.
And then you guys chanting Susie out here.
And then we chanted as she walked out. Like as she walked down the stairs, they were like, Susie, yeah, Susie. Yeah.
Did she like acknowledge it?
Oh, no. She knew what she did. She was shamed. She was like a dog. She just put her head down and was like, oh.
Someone rub her face in it?
That's how you teach her.
Yeah, that's how you teach him.
And that's what Nestor was doing.
Oh my God. All right.
Come here, girl.
Moving on to Seattle. Sunday, the Galaxy traveled back to the Pacific Northwest to play Seattle in the last meeting 2 weeks ago. The G's looked like they might walk away with 3 points, but instead drew with Seattle as Steres got sent off early for a boneheaded mistake, and Bingham followed up with an insanely stupid play. Seattle currently sits third in the West, tied on points with second place RSL at 43, which Chris already pointed out earlier. After their draw on Sunday, the G's still sit 1 point shy of Seattle in fourth place. The G's look very tired in the second half against Chivas USA, but with a full week off, should be well rested for the clash with Seattle. On Sunday, Pavon bagged his first goal for the Galaxy and looked dangerous all night. At this point in the season, every point matters to get you into the playoffs. Can the G's recover from their draw and continue the form they showed in the first half, or will we see them throw away more points? Gentlemen, Seattle coming off a big win against Portland. What do you think?
Yeah,
You saw Jonathan come off a little early.
Yeah.
Saying,
God, he went down hurt too. And whole section was quiet.
Oh, because you're like,
the moment he went down, we were like, we're fucked. We're done. Yeah, we're all done. But he seems fine. Apparently, it looked like it was precautionary while he was going off, so that worked out really well.
Yeah, I think he was tired and cramping, so they were like, hey,
you know, a lot of games, man.
And it was late in the game. It was like 82nd minute or something like that. 81st minute.
Yeah, it's pretty late. I don't remember.
Because that's when Carrasco came off from me, right?
Yeah, so it would have been
like
82nd.
Yeah.
And that was really just to kind of shut down the house and make sure we got out with a point. I did see the Seattle Portland game. They got what for them is a big win. It wasn't the best played game of soccer, so I mean I'm not entirely too concerned about that.
And Portland was robbed, man.
Look,
they were jobbed, dude.
Obviously,
they should got a penalty.
Obviously, I have a lot of friends who are Timbers fans, and I know a lot of people up there. They're fucking idiots. Like what? I get their whole Iron Front thing.
They live in Portland.
It's nothing. I get the whole Iron Front thing or United Iron Front or whatever it's called. It's something that I can assure you Lars is never, ever going to take part in, just because we're all together because of the Galaxy. We're not together for any of these other issues. We're not. Your other issues are your kind of business. We stay out of it. We're focused on the Galaxy. That's our job. I don't understand seeding. The only advantage that the Portland Timbers have is the atmosphere of their home games. I don't understand. And I'm not asking it to be explained to me because I don't give a shit. But I don't understand seeding. Your only advantage in your biggest rivalry game for most of the first half. That doesn't make any sense to me. That is stupid. But again, that ain't my fucking business. So I don't have to worry about it. It's a big win for Seattle in the Cascadia Wars or whatever they're called. But not necessarily the best play. You still got to concern yourself with Christian Roldan, who can pick a pass. They play very, very wide. They love attacking down there at the right side. Raul Rui Diaz.
Our biggest weaknesses are
biggest concerns, yeah. And they're gonna come on Felcher's side. Like that's the side you can't even replace Steris and add Polenta to the left back spot and kind of help out because they're gonna come down Felcher's side. Rui Diaz got 2 goals, I think, against Portland, so he's kind of a hot hand. But Zlatan's gonna get a week of rest finally. I wouldn't, if not training him was possible for this week, I would tell him don't train, stay home and rehab. I'm sure he's gonna do a little bit of training at home anyway. It's gonna be a rough game. They tactically play to a lot of our weaknesses, and we don't really play to a lot of their strengths. It's gonna be a rough one. Big counterattacking side, but it's still there to be won.
We've already shown 2 weeks ago, like, we can beat them.
I really, really, really believe that LAFC game was the last loss of the season. It's entirely possible if we play our game the right way that was the last loss of the season.
I'm a little concerned about Paul Bowen playing on turf for the first time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's a player that I think he'll maybe take him like a little, like, 10, 15 minutes to get into the game, maybe. And maybe he'll find his footing, being able to project where the ball's going to jump, from the surface and all that stuff.
Where I'm concerned with him is his close control. A lot of it is on the bounce. A lot of it's, the ball will be bouncing in the air and he kind of gets just the right tap and it gets it right where he's got to go and he takes off. I'm worried about the time it'll take to figure out that bounce in an actual game. When they're going to get there early, they're going to practice, they're have time on the field. But I think in an actual big game environment, it's probably going to sell out, or at least ticket sales wise do very well. Reacting to those bounces, I'll be honest, I'm a little concerned about that. But I'm wondering, because of his ability and because of his skill, if he figures it out, if he figures those bounces out, I also think he can probably use that to a pretty big advantage for him.
Yeah. Because
he also does that quick little dink press over, when the ball bounces in front of him and it's up in the air and he just nudges it up over you a little bit and then fucking takes off. I don't know, it could go a couple different ways, and it's going to force them to keep shifting the ball from side to side. If we're predominantly playing on Pavon's side on the left, every time Seattle's going to come back and want to come down our right side, they're going to have to switch the ball all the way back over. So it'll be interesting to see how it kind of bounces back and forth for the rest of the game.
Stairs will be back though, so maybe no Shelvick. Have Polenta back out there on the left side.
Yeah, the Stairs still a concern. I'm sure he still has nightmares of that Jordan Morris goal, and now nightmares of his Rui Diaz red card.
This is time to make up for that.
Seattle seems to be a boogie team for this.
You're 100% going to have Stairs back in that lineup. Come on.
Oh yeah, I thought the question posed to me was, is this when he makes up for it? To which I say I'm not quite sure. This is when
Daniel Stairs scores a brace.
Well, he's definitely going to play because Giancarlo is out. Giancarlo's out on yellow card suspension.
Oh yeah, he got his 5th,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So we're still 100%.
So we're still going to see Shelvick.
Still going to see Shelvick.
Oh no.
Oh
man.
Probably going to lose this game.
At least we can hope that we can draw this game. Yeah, I don't know, man. So let's see lineups you're probably going to have. Felcher as your right back. Will Steres be your right center back or your left center back?
You're right. It should be Felcher, Steres, Polenta,
and Shelvick.
Yeah. But you might even see Romney because Shelvick got hooked at halftime.
Yeah.
For Romney, who also had a fucking horror show. Ugh, what a night. This is something I realized inside the scene. If I can go back to LAFC, just heartbeat. Wouldn't you take Ashley Cole one more year? Like it's just Shelvick and Romney are not better than Ashley Cole was. Like they're just not. Ashley Cole, half of what he was the year before, is still better than either of these two. All you got to ask it. Don't run. We don't need you to run. We don't need you to run. We don't need you to pass. We don't need you to create. We just need you to be defensive. And
but that's not GBS' style though. He needs his outside backs to run and get up.
I think he needs his left backs to stop directly causing goals game after game after game.
That's what he needs them to do, but what he has them do is constantly running up and down.
Because I would imagine the chief issue is like giving up goals all the time. Seems the more drastic issue at the moment.
You would think.
You'd think. I'm just saying I would take Ashley Cole for one more year over either of these two fucking mooks. But yes, Shelvick's starting left back. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fine, guys. It's gonna be fine.
It's gotta be awesome for it to not matter whether you're good at your job.
And still
At
get
least for a
paid.
little bit. At least for a little bit. All you have to do is have Jovan Karofsky be dumb enough to sign you to a multi-year deal for more money than the head coach agreed to when he left. That's all that's got to happen, allegedly. That's all that's got to happen. And then you have job security forever and a day. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you give a guy like a fatty contract, even though he wasn't even playing for this team
It's
previously.
fucking awful, man.
But whatever. Then what do you think of Jonathan? Do you think he's gonna play? Give him a rest?
Forever. No, Giancarlo's only got 4, so he should be good to go. I apologize.
Why are you lying to people, man?
I thought he was on 5. Apparently he's only on the 4. So if he's fit to go, there's no Shelvick. It should just be Polenta at left back, Giancarlo, Steris, and Felcher.
You just made everyone like feel 1,000 times better.
Hey, why? You're welcome.
You
Look,
build it. You bring him down and just to build him back up.
talking about my sex life. I love it.
Yeah,
Just crush that self-esteem and then you bring it back.
you neg them. You neg the people, and then you're just like, no, it's all good, baby.
All part of my dentist system.
The Tucker system.
Oh,
Tire them out.
underappreciated.
Underappreciate them. Criticize them.
Yeah.
Kick
Kill them with kindness.
Oh, okay. Kill them with kindness.
That's how you start building them back
Yeah.
up. That's how you start building them back up. Eviscerate them because you got to lower them back down one more time. And then you respect them. Because at the end of the day, it's 2019. You got to respect these ladies, man. Tucker system.
I'm glad we got that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you have Zlatan starting up top. Has Zlatan played in Seattle before? What
That's a
happened?
very good question. I don't think.
You all right? You all right there,
Yeah,
buddy?
my F1 fucking key is missing.
Ah.
That is that fucking kid. That fucking kid's Damien. But
Did he play in Seattle?
I'm trying to think if he ever played in Seattle.
I know it's late, man. I can barely think of anything.
Anyways, but it's turf. You got
It's turf,
the guys who.
but you need this game, so
Dude, I'm pretty sure that whole week off is gonna really help him out. But this is only the start of 6 games in September, so these games are gonna come fast and just I don't know, man. You're gonna have to find some time to give these guys a rest. Maybe not the first game out of the 6 games, but you're gonna definitely have to find a way to rotate a little bit. Maybe what are games coming up, Tucker? I know you had them up there.
I did for a second.
we got Seattle away, Colorado away, Sporting Kansas City at home, then Montreal at home, away to Salt Lake, home with Vancouver, and our last game is away to Houston.
So our hardest game is going to be the one against Salt Lake, because all those other ones are pretty winnable.
Zlatan has never played in Seattle. He
So
got rested away last year.
you can definitely rest guys against Colorado.
He got rested the day you got married. That was the 5-0.
Oh, the 5-0, yeah. You can definitely rest guys against Colorado. Sporting at home, I mean they're awful, but they haven't been playing as bad as they were. I don't know, man. There's definitely games you can rest people and rotate. Maybe, and there's a lot of games against the West Coast Western Conference.
We play Seattle, and then there's the international, quote unquote, international break. We don't play for 10 days. So our games are September 1st versus Seattle. Then we play September 11th, which is a Wednesday in Colorado. Then the following Sunday we're at home. And then we get a whole nother week's rest the following Saturday on the 21st, where we have Montreal at home. And then we go to Salt Lake, which is like 2-hour plane ride. But you are playing at altitude, which is on the 25th. We come back the following Sunday, and then we get the whole week rest before decision day.
There's a lot of winnable games there.
They're all winnable.
They're well.
Tucker's right. They're all winnable.
Salt Lake's they're playing very well right now. And that's the game that I would be most worried about. Got a couple of teams in there that have new coaches, so you might get some new coach bumps. Colorado got the new,
Robin Fraser, yeah.
Then you have Montreal got the new coach as well.
Did you hear they offered Connor Casey to stay on as an assistant coach
And he's like,
or
nah,
to take over the USL team? He's like, I'm good.
nah.
I was good before I got this job. I'm fine now that it's gone.
Because
I don't care that you're.
Was he
terrible.
like their TV guy, or what was he doing with the team before?
I don't think he was doing anything. I
thought
think
he was an assistant coach.
Was he an assistant coach? I don't know. I don't follow Colorado at all.
The guy who hates soccer and doesn't watch it.
Yeah,
He's
how
like,
would it be that we get Colorado with a new coach bump twice, man?
you know, it's our luck, man. It's just our luck.
It's gonna be
In the
great
same
when a
year.
team's terrible.
Yeah.
So lineup: Zlatan up top, Fabio underneath him, Pabon on the left,
Change nothing.
Antune on the right.
Change Shelvick.
Any word on Alessandrini?
September. The word was September. I haven't heard anything since September.
This is the first game
And
of
you
September.
know he's not coming back. I mean, he's
Well,
not,
they did-
He ain't
definitely
playing.
not going to the turf.
He ain't playing on turf, man.
Yeah.
He's not a turf away, so he has to be on a flight, an unnecessary flight.
I think earliest you see him is probably like the Kansas City game, that first home game back. I think that's the first one you see him at.
I know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in Colorado.
Why away? There's no point.
And in altitude, like where he's not going to be match fit, like
Yeah,
why play him?
But it's September 11th. Yeah, altitude. I'm not.
Well, the guy who hasn't played in
no.
8 months.
Altitude's not the issue. The issue is potentially, and we don't know his fitness. Potentially rushing him back to play the team that's second bottom of the West or somewhere in around there. Like, if Colorado is a game, Colorado's second bottom from the West, tied on points with Vancouver, who is nailed to the floor. Only bettered by FC Cincinnati on 18 points, which is embarrassing. If it's a game that you can play Julian Araujo, why are you rushing Alessandrini? If you're going to potentially rush him in any way,
Yeah.
if it's rushed, and it might not be, maybe he's healthy. If it's rushed, why wouldn't you?
Andrew points out, what does 9/11 have to do with anything?
I didn't understand that either.
Yeah,
but
no, that's just it's
far enough along into
first,
September.
Yeah, we play on the 1st and then the 11th.
If it's to say far enough into September,
Yeah, it's
You-
almost 2 weeks.
you
But
could
could
consider.
could that jet fuel melt those metal structures,
Look,
man?
Here we go.
Look,
Just saying.
This gets you in trouble every time. Conspiracy theories get you in trouble every time. Just stay away from them.
I'm
don't
just
do it.
saying.
Don't do
You
it.
didn't see those pre-explosions before the planes even hit the building. I'm just saying.
I saw the dust come out of the windows. I still don't know what that means though. No one's ever explained those.
You didn't see like the devil's face in the smoke. I mean, just come on, dude.
I don't even. So now we're moving into supernatural, which I mean, if it's Satan, then it's not. Then it wasn't.
It's because of you
Bush.
sinners,
Okay. Oh.
of you multiracial couples,
Okay.
which apparently I'm in, so that doesn't make
Yeah, I
sense
was
either.
I am. White women are amazing. They're great cooks.
You
and
create
they're lovers. I love you.
Giant kaiju babies.
Did we talk about how the Damien's 3-year-old thing?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Did you last week? I don't remember.
No. I meant on here right now. We didn't do it last week, did we?
No. Well, yeah, we talked a little bit about it last week, and then we talked.
I looked up, and it's a quick side note. I looked up like my son's weight and height for where he should be. He has the body of a 3-year-old,
Mhm.
which is fucked up, man. Like if you're gonna have a kid, there's this part of you that's like, oh, I can't wait to just like swoop him up and.
Would you say
carry
his
him.
body is a wonderland?
His body is a wonderland. It's a magical fucking beastie wonderland. It's gonna be bigger than you in like 2 years. But like you think of holding them
2
when they're
years,
babies.
18 months. Yeah, you're talking about 2 years.
Like he's 3 feet tall. Like it's
Yeah.
Dude,
fucked
so
up.
he's 11 months old.
He's 11. Yeah, he'll be 1 year on the 18th of September.
And so we were asking him like, because his birthday's coming up, and they're like, oh yeah, 2 toddler. Like, wait, what?
Mhm.
Yeah,
The boy's wearing a 2 toddler. I'm like,
he
just
is.
monster baby.
He's probably at 30 pounds now, and he's 35 inches long. Like, he's huge. He's objectively huge. I love him. He's better, and he'll kick the shit out of you. Like, don't fuck around. And he's a bit of a bully, but like,
Well, he's a Tucker.
yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah. All right, predictions. I believe Ben, you have to go first.
Would you like to hear the odds before we all predict?
Ben had
Yes.
a loss, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're going first for heresy.
All right,
That's how we keep you alive.
that's only fair.
Either you go first, or we fucking burn you outside, like in Game of Thrones.
Cut
Sounds
off-
like a rise from the
well-
ashes.
Cut off your wiener and send it to your family.
There you go, wiener. We'll cut off
So-
your thingy.
We'll cut off your dingus.
The odds makers do not like the Galaxy in this game for some reason. The Galaxy are 3-1 favorites, or 3-1 underdogs. I'm sorry. Seattle is a minus 130, which is a pretty decent favorite, especially in MLS. The over/under talk just for you,
Mhm.
2.5.
That seems fair.
When are we ever the favorites?
Probably going to be the favorites for the last few games. I would say
We'll be the favorite for Colorado, for Vancouver.
We'll see.
Maybe RSL. Probably not Montreal, even though that's at home.
So I was looking at the overseas odds, and we're even bigger favorites. I mean, if you want to go bet overseas, you can almost get 4-1 on the Galaxy, which I think is a good bet because I think the Galaxy are going to win this game.
I should have put a bet on the draw, man.
We still have the 3 worst teams in the Western Conference. 4 worst teams in the Western Conference. That's 12 fucking beautiful points right there.
What are the overseas odds, Ben?
The overseas odds have the Galaxy at a plus 370, the Seattle at a negative 145.
Wow. I understood that. And it was some pretty big fucking odds.
So 538 has the projection of Seattle winning 55%, the Galaxy 23%, and a draw 21%. That being said, the Galaxy, I mean, they're playing well. Pavon's the difference. So if I have to go first, say the Galaxy win 2-1.
Who's your scores?
You got to be foolish to go anybody outside of Zlatan.
Yeah.
So I'll just say Zlatan with both.
Okay.
That's fair. I'm up next.
Christopher.
Surprisingly, good sir, I have 2-1 Galaxy as well. I also have Zlatan at the double. It's the, if we're going to win, really, if we're going to win, I think we're probably going to need someone else to pip in there and help out and score a goal and kind of help relieve some of that burden. But at the end of the day, I think it's still going to be Zlatan. Also possible, you see, and it's what I'm hoping for, you see a Christian Pavon show, and he nails both of them. That would be ideal, but for the sake of the game, I got to go with the smart thing, and the smart pick is Zlatan at the double. 2-1 Galaxy.
I'm going to go 3-1 Galaxy, just so we can change it up a bit.
Get back in the game.
I'm going to go 2 Zlatan, and I'm going to go with that redemption story. Stairs with 1.
Okay, that would be a great redemption. Bodies Morris out of the way and headbutts Roman Torres between the eyes and then flies up for.
Well, he's still out with those ped suspensions.
Oh, that's right, because he's a junkie.
Yeah, he likes to shoot up in between his toes, so you can't see the track marks on his arms.
Whatever gets you stronger.
Yeah, man, you gotta do it. He's got that rat performance and answers. All right, Benjamin, we do have some lightning round questions if you want to play that jingle. Skadoosh. So if you guys ever want to hit us up for a lightning round question, you guys can hit us up on Twitter at Riot Squadcast. Twitter.com/Riot Squadcast.
There you go.
Hopefully you're following. Why wouldn't you be following us?
How are you hearing this?
Yeah.
If you're not following.
What are you doing?
If you're in the live chat right now and you'd like to ask a lightning round question, Ben is also going to be monitoring those. And I guess you're welcome to call in 562-641-5277 and ask it yourself.
Yeah, there you go. We have the first one here. It is from our favorite Twitter name, Uncle Dishwasher. Someone dropped in the Megapod the other night that the idea of Ronaldo being the next major star to come to the G's, packaged with Herbalife shenanigans, on a likelihood scale ranging from LAFC beating the G's this regular season to definitely. What are your thoughts?
I mean, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I think it's a coin flip. I think it's entirely possible, and the Galaxy are always going to be open to him. It's going to be something similar to the Galaxy's conversations with Beckham back in, 04, 05, 06. We're ready when you're ready. And when you're ready, we'll figure it out. I think it's hard to discuss Ronaldo to the Galaxy while ignoring his legal situation. As soon as the rape case was dropped, I think it kind of opened that door. As long as that was ongoing, I mean, Juventus didn't even come to America for the international, or what is it called, the ICC.
The ICC.
They didn't come for the ICC because if they did, they were worried he might get arrested. Now that issue's been cleared up, and I think he still paid money out to admit it that he paid money out to the woman, which is
he paid more money to the girl.
Fucking weird and dicey, and really kind of sounds like
the whole thing is all sketchy.
Let's be real,
because you're definitely not guilty if you're like just quiet, hush money.
It's very much a Kobe Bryant thing. Very, very similar to the whole thing.
Well, don't
very
disrespect
similar.
Kobe like that, dude.
How dare you? He's look.
Just saying.
He had 5 championships with the late. Well, I mean, look. All joking aside, well, one, Kobe Bryant was weird because he came out like the day after she dropped the case and was like, he spent a year being like, I have no idea why this woman would ever think that anything untoward happened. And then like the day after the case was dropped, he was like, all right, man, I kind of could see how, look, I'm not saying I did it. I just see how she, I see how she.
After he bought his wife that big ass rock.
Like $4 million rock.
Yeah, dude.
My man earned his money. But with Ronaldo, it's not good PR, and the Galaxy really don't like bad PR. But if we're being honest with ourselves, the potentially good PR of Cristiano Ronaldo in the Galaxy outweighs the bad PR of Cristiano Ronaldo in the Galaxy. If he's available, if he's willing to come, and if I won't even say if the money's right, I think he's one of those.
Dude,
He's one of those transitional stars where you find the money.
Yeah.
You make the money happen. MLS would make that money happen if the Galaxy couldn't make that money happen if he's willing to come. And you can talk about NYCFC. You can talk about Inter Miami. You can talk about LAFC. Let's be real.
You think he's gonna really want to go play in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, the proximity to Miami might be appealing, but realistically, I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo is going anywhere inside of Major League Soccer unless he's coming to the Galaxy. We'll always be open to it, and hopefully one day before he's over the hill, he's open to it too. But I assure you, that man would destroy this league. He would absolutely destroy this league.
Until this league like destroyed him because he has bad knees.
They said we were going to destroy Zlatan, and every time he steps on the
Zlatan's
field,
a different.
Zlatan has 6 goals in 11 days. Like,
But
Ronaldo
not player
is
of the week worthy though.
fucking bullshit. But Ronaldo is still in ridiculous shape. Like fitness wise, he's still in insane shape.
It's all that dope.
You let him run. Well, no, he eats vegetables. Ed, when you eat vegetables and run, you get these
I've
weird.
seen some reports where he got some shit covered up, but whatever.
It's tattoos. Look, he might play in the Galaxy someday. Stop this. Jorgen Skjelvik to Hammerby should happen. Yeah, but if they
every time,
if they get him on a workload routine like Zlatan has, where when he's nowhere near the ball, he can play some defense, but he's mostly waiting for an opportunity to get on the ball and go try to sprint towards a goal, which is what he's here for. You get Ronaldo on that, he breaks every goal scoring record this league has ever had, will ever have. Hopefully. I think it's still 50-50. I think it's a coin flip.
So our boy Capo Supremo Andrew asks, who can we realistically replace Zlatan with next year?
He's getting rumored to enter Miami a lot, but I would love Luis Suarez, and I get all the issues with him, but based on how he plays,
You really
Luis
want to
Suarez,
lose Big Tony, man?
No, I mean I don't want to do the prediction game.
I take Big Tony over Suarez, man.
Look, Big Tony stayed during Gio. He's gonna stay during Suarez. Like if you can emotionally put up with what Gio did to the Galaxy, like the highway robbery of did to the Galaxy, had his father do his best to fucking shoehorn his way into running the club. If you can tolerate that, if you can tolerate Chris Klein giving Kobe Jones' number away, you'll find a way to tolerate Luis Suarez. Fucking let Suarez score 1 goal from 40 yards out against LAFC at LAFC. Tony will be back on board.
And then bite Vela in the face.
I'm already sold. Walker Zimmerman right in the neck. You're not in?
Like a fucking vampire.
George. Thank you. Like a nice Walking Dead kind of setup. But yeah, Robert Lewandowski is getting posted in the live chat right now. He's getting a little older, has been very frustrated at Bayern Munich for not signing another forward to kind of take some of the workload off of him. He's still...
Well, that's definitely what we don't do, right? We definitely sign strikers to help people.
Well, the issue at Bayern is that they're in the DFB Pokal Cup, they're in the German league, they're in the Champions League. They want to go far in the Champions League. He's playing every game. I don't think Lewandowski is going to have the Zlatan ego here that he has, that Zlatan has here, where he's demanding playing every minute of every game. If we're up by 2, I'm sure Lewandowski wouldn't mind getting subbed out.
He's like giving thumbs up. He's like doing the...
Yeah, I'm good. I'm now I scored 4 goals in 8 minutes this time. I'm ready to get subbed out.
I'm ready to go.
Thank you guys. So I mean, I would love Lewandowski. I don't know if it's how realistic it is. Bayern likes to get everything they can out of their pieces before they move them on. So that might be a little harder. But
they'll just buy like a Dortmund player, so it's fine.
Given how much money we've spent, unless we're going out and getting someone big and fancy, and I would imagine post Zlatan we probably need a more marquee name. We spent a lot of money recently, so maybe someone who's coming to the end of a contract. But also Zlatan's an international, and GBS seems to like Argentinians. So I don't know. It won't be Tevez. That's fucking for sure.
No, not ass his face.
Well, he seems to hate GBS a little bit.
Yeah.
So
You know, it's definitely gotta be someone who's like South American. Ain't gonna be no European man.
I think we need the European name. We have the South American in Pavon. We're good. We have the Mexican in Jonathan. We have the South American to help GBS get happy in Pavon. We need the European to make sure we're on Sky Sports, because that's part of the goal. It's part of the global goal of the Galaxy. I would imagine we're going to kind of go back to that well. I don't know who's available or who's getting close. I'll be honest. I watch a bit of the Premier League. I don't watch nearly as much as I used to. So that would be a little harder to answer.
You know, the Eredivisie and whatever Turkish league you're watching that week.
Italian Serie A.
Whatever Turkish third division team he's into these days.
Italian Serie A, and I'm still watching Ajax because Sergino Dest, the American right back, is starting for them. So why not? I'm patriotic as fuck, sir. That's all it is.
Plain Rap wants to know Chicharito.
I think that boat has sailed. I think that's all done.
Yeah.
I think someone's saying they would rather take half the money to sit on the bench in England than twice the money to actively play in MLS and be the guy. Ashley Cole said a whole lot of bullshit years ago, and then Ashley Cole came to play for free. That's why that one made more sense. This is a guy who, it's probably unfair to say he's over the hill for MLS. He's over the hill for most of the other leagues in the world. He's going to demand a ton of money, and he sounds like he's kind of an asshole. So I never want Javier Hernandez, ever. If it's Javier Hernandez versus Chris Pontius, get him in a jersey. But I all things being equal, and if you've got $10 million to spend, that's not where I spend it.
What about Di Maria?
No. I got Alessandrini and Pavone. What the fuck do I want Angel Di Maria for?
What about Balotelli? I
would take Mario. I would probably sell 2/3 of this team to a forward Mario Balotelli.
Falcao?
I like Falcao. I'm not sure how much it would work here with the physicality. He's got that level of class that he'll figure it out, and I think eventually he would kind of make it work. I don't know if he's the star level that the Galaxy would be looking for. Maybe like a Fernando Torres 4 or 5 years ago when he was pretty much done, but still kind of trolling around Europe, was more of that name.
What about James?
James Rodriguez? Oh, I would sell you in a fucking sex slavery for James Rodriguez. Dude, what are you talking about? Here, man. Oh, a front four. Like I know it's let's say Zlatan's gone, but I mean, and James isn't going to play as a forward. He's going to take that Fabio spot. But of the 4-2-3-1 of Christian Pavon, James Rodriguez, and Roman Alessandrini, I don't need a forward. Sub off the forward, play me another defender, so I stop giving up goals, and let those dudes just jizz all over MLS. It'd be fucking beautiful. Oh, yes, please.
I mean, there was rumors of Daniel Sturridge coming to MLS.
He's made out of glass. It's over. It's all over. I mean, I hope did he go to Turkey? Where did he go? I think he went to Turkey. I hope he does well, and I enjoyed watching him play when he was at Chelsea and Liverpool, and I think he was at City earlier on. It was nice to watch play, but it's just
he's not a Galaxy type player.
He's not a Galaxy type player. Two, his body is all done. Like his body is
not a wonderland,
and he's not Zlatan. He's not a physical marvel and this guy who just takes care of his temple. I'm sure he does his best to stay in his best health as he can, but
Plain Rap on the YouTube chat says Balotelli couldn't survive in the city with the LAPD.
That's true.
Just screaming "Why always me" to them.
You're black. That's why. Rampart Division.
You're like, you thought it was bad in Italy, man. Well, you just came to America.
Andrew says Sturridge went to Trabzonspor. So yeah, I think that's in the Turkish.
That's in Turkish league.
I would take Balotelli. I would take Gonzalo Higuain. He's lost. Juventus doesn't want to pay him.
No, I don't know, man.
They were talking about him going to. I want to say they were talking about him going to Fiorentina because Fiorentina is like one of the youngest squads in the top 5 leagues in the world.
You're talking about it.
Somehow I have time for this.
You're talking about like a Gio level, like doesn't give a shit.
Gonzalo Higuain.
Yeah.
When he's properly motivated, I mean the guy's gonna be better than anything we've got. Sans Zlatan, obviously. He seems like he's a little overweight, and he seems like he's losing the desire to play soccer. You're getting into that Gio.
You seen Wesley Sneijder on the weekend?
Hey, enjoy your retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
Everybody stop giving that guy. Look. Explain this to me. I don't know if you saw. Did you see the picture of Wesley Sneijder?
I did.
So he gained a little weight because he retired.
Little weight.
So he gained a lot of weight because he retired. if a female athlete retired and gained a whole lot of weight, would you be allowed to publicly mock them like this? Because they're tearing Wesley Schneider to fucking pieces for working his ass off his whole career, making his fucking money, and now enjoying his retirement. But if a woman did that, and everybody was like, "Oh, if you quote tweeted, oh look how fucking fat this broad is," you get kicked off of Twitter. You'd be in Twitter jail with me,
Would you though?
like some idiot.
Are you still in Twitter jail?
No, I was good, man. I was fucking fine. And Andrew makes a great point. Fat Higuain is better than Gio in his fucking prime. And Gio's prime is that one goal against the U.S. men's national team. And Higuain's still better than he is.
Let's move quickly from Chris's to rant about.
Real quick, Dybala.
We can't afford him. I would take him. We can't afford him. I mean, Tottenham. He was when he got rumored to Manchester United. He asked for money that made his move cost ineffective. This is to a team that's paying Alexis Sanchez £350,000 a week. Like, how much money could it be that's cost ineffective for you as for one of the world's best strikers? It's not going to happen.
Here's the real question: why wouldn't you want to keep Zlatan for another year?
As great as he is and as good as he is, and I do think he's very good. It's a weird, hard thing to say. I am prepared to begin to move our team in GBS's and Pavon's direction and away from the last regime. Zlatan is very, very good, and obviously the point to say is obviously it's contingent on replacing him. If you're not replacing him, or if you're getting an MLS, you're getting Will Bruin, you're getting an MLS quality striker, then yeah, Zlatan with 3 toes missing is better than fucking Will Bruin. But if you're moving to replace him and you're moving to make it make more sense in the lineup to where you don't have a what will be a 39-year-old forward who has played a lot of games in his career, not able to play defense or to help out or to press at all after the 50th minute of a game. And again, I know he played a whole lot of minutes and he's played a whole lot of matches recently, but to basically just stand up and wait for the ball and hope it gets to him with an opportunity, it would be time to move on. I'm also really concerned about that hanging on for 1 year too long. And that's a lot of money in a DP spot to hang out for 1 year too long.
Isn't the easy answer Benedetto?
He just got moved to Marseille.
Say if it doesn't work out.
If it doesn't work out, yeah, you get Benedetto. You get to say that you signed a player from Europe. He's
you already kind of have a working relationship with Marseille.
Yeah, oh yeah.
With the
Allison Dream transfer,
yeah.
like we supposedly we would have some contacts. Dario Benedetto, if it works, and look, and yes, he just moved to Marseille all the time. Players from South America move to Europe. It doesn't work out, and the Europeans are trying to flip him out the next transfer window or the transfer window after that.
And that happened to Joseph Martinez in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean
it's
entirely possible, and we would be hoping to again have the inside track. Hopefully have Christian Pavon be able to put in a phone call and say, "Hey man, it ain't half bad here. The checks always come on time. If we lose a game, no one's threatening to set my house on fire. Like, it's just a game, and I get paid really well, and then I go home. You know, the dream is Dario Benedetto. But you know, it's that issue. That's the question mark.
All right, we got some emails from listeners. If you guys want to send us emails, you can send it to riotsquadcast.com or show at riotsquadcast.com, or send it to riotsquadcast@gmail.com. It all goes in the same place. This is from Walter C. He goes, "Hey guys, Walter C. I can't believe that we were one Daniel Steres short of holding on to that win. Fuck LAFC and their fake ass fans in their Lego built stadium. Was so pumped for the game though that I even forgot to put in a prediction. His question: will we finish second in the West?
Yes.
No.
I think we finished third.
I agree. I think we finished third or fourth.
I think you're both wrong. I think we're going to finish second, but my opinion is just as valid as yours. None of us can tell the future.
Safe space.
Safe space. Well, we're behind RSL by a singular point. We're behind Seattle by a singular
That's who I
point.
think that can finish the top of us.
We have
Salt Lake.
We have no games in. Everyone's on the same amount of games. Us and RSL are tied on wins. We have more losses in both of them. You know, if we had Christian Pavon 6 months ago, we're in first. We might be in second because the defense is a little questionable. we just signed arguably the biggest player in the league. And he's starting to kind of get that shit together. So be patient. But I think when all is said and done, RSL is not a better team than we are. Seattle Sounders are not a better team than we are. Let Pavon find his. I mean, is it crazy to say Christian Pavon's going to get 5 goals between now and the end of the season? I don't think so. So he becomes our second highest goal scorer between now and the end of the season, and we're not overtaking RSL in Seattle. I think it's possible. I think that's where we.
If Drini comes back for Colorado and got 6 games, is it impossible to say he's going to get 3?
If Drini comes back with 5 games, I think he could still get 3.
Yeah,
because that's the thing when they're healthy and when they're rested and everyone's back. The amount of space that's going to be open for all these guys is incredible. I mean, if Zlatan doesn't come back, I'm genuinely heartbroken that we're only going to get like 5 or 6 games of Pavon, Alessandrini, Zlatan, and potentially Fabio, or even potentially Alessandrini. I'm eager to see them all working together and them all moving together, but we'll have to see. I think we end up finishing in second though.
and then he also finishes his email by saying, "P.S. Brian, you can keep choking on that dick."
Never stop, Brian. It's we all remain as engorged as humanly possible, just for you, good sir.
We do also have another email from Don. Let's wrap this up real quickly. It says, Squadcasters, I have a coworker who's a Chivas fan, and as we were trading barbs the other day, she made some quip about Carson. You know the one, quote, Galaxy can't claim to represent LA because their stadium is in Carson, unquote, or some shit. If you haven't done so recently, can you take a few minutes to speak on this? I know the answer. Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, way before LAFC was a glint in Mia Hamm's eye, no one was going to give up prime real estate to build a soccer stadium for a team playing in a fledgling sports league, one that may go belly up like previous leagues. Can the argument be made that it was pioneering success of teams like the Galaxy that eased investors' fears and made stadiums like the Stank of California even possible?
Short answer is yes.
The
Absolutely.
The concise version of the speech I would like to give. Soccer as a sport does not exist in this country if not for the LA Galaxy. And there's no need for the music because I'm not going to go long-winded. Without us, none of these other teams even exist. Without us in 2007, again, you don't have the system in place like you have now.
Without Laiwikis and the Hunts, there is no MLS.
Without the Laiwikis, the Hunts, without
owning 4 teams each.
Where you mean, or Uncle Phil, like without.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Well, I'll get to Lawicki, but without people like the Hunts and Phil Anschutz,
yeah.
The league doesn't exist. The league flat out doesn't exist. Without visionaries like, my feelings about his tenure with the Galaxy aside, Doug Hamilton, people like Tim Lewicki, your feelings on him aside again, Chris Klein, without people pushing and driving the league forward, you don't have the academy system you have now. You don't have the USL system that you have now. You sure as hell don't have cathedral soccer-specific stadiums like you have now. And it's not we weren't the first soccer-specific stadium, but we sure as hell were the first soccer-specific stadium like us. Don't believe me? Go to Bank of California. Somehow MLS has gone backwards.
We made a big boy stadium. Columbus it's a high school stadium.
Well, I mean, Columbus is talking about moving. Chicago is going to move. Like the Galaxy, Carson or otherwise, we still ain't moving. Like I'll be honest with you, and I've been wrestling with this the last couple of days. I don't understand the defensive nature of people who are like, "Well, they call us Carson." Well, it is the place the stadium is built. Like, let's be realistic. It's the place the stadium is built. I don't want to go fucking north anyway. Downtown Los Angeles is an awful place.
It smells like piss.
It's an objectively awful place. I don't want to go there. I like where my building is. I like that somehow, after 15 years, my building is still nicer than brand new fucking buildings that cost 3 times the amount of money. So again, to keep it concise, without us, there isn't an MLS. Without us, there isn't soccer in this country. That's not being cocky. That's not being pompous. That's a fact. Without us, the Seattle Sounders aren't in the league. So for everybody's famous 40,000 and 50,000 and all these high-ass attendance numbers, like, we don't have these things. We flat out don't have these things. If the Galaxy don't play in the Rose Bowl and have and somehow still sell 70,000 seats or 70,000 tickets. If we don't build our stadium in Carson, there is no Los Angeles FC. If we don't build our stadium in Carson, there's no Chivas USA for Los Angeles FC to fucking come from. None of these things exist. San Jose doesn't come back into the league. Portland's in the league because Seattle is in the league. Seattle got in the league because Tim Lewicki placed a phone call and said, hey, you should start a team in Seattle. That's how, or you should get the Seattle Sounders into Major League Soccer. Like, that's how this shit happens. MLS is old, man. It's young. But if you've been around for a while, it's old. Some of us have been through some shit. Some of us have been through some way darker, more questionable days where every time the league the season would end, you would be genuinely terrified as to whether it's coming back because you don't know whether it's coming back. Who's concerned about that shit now? Nobody. They're all welcome.
Thank you. Oh, I gotta turn my mic back on. Christopher.
So close.
Couldn't say. I know. Couldn't say it any better. Benjamin, where can they find you on the socials, my good man?
You can find me at DT Radio Ben on the tweet machine. You can email the show at riotsquadcast.com. You can go to our website, riotsquadcast.com, and click on the Patreon link, become a Patreon member like our boy Jaime did.
Our boy Jaime? Oh, Jaime?
Today?
No, last week.
Right now.
Tucker, where can they find you on the socials, man?
At ZeroCool138 on Twitter, Goodreads, and Strava. Your boy's out running now. I'm doing miles, son.
Do it, son.
I'm doing miles. Yeah, I got jerseys I'm trying to fit it. I got a 2014 Galaxy jersey that I've literally never worn. And my goal, I'm going to try to wear it to the home opener starting next year. So
Does that mean cameras in here?
that's the whole reason I'm running, sir.
Just have to get a higher chair so I can suck in the gut a little bit.
We're gonna build a thing up right in front.
Just
of
right
you.
here.
Yeah, it'll be
Just
fun.
above my tits, so
Ed,
you can't see it.
Ed, it's great to have you back. Where can they find you, sir?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at EdTheZombie13. You can find the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just search Riot Squadcast. Make sure when you see these, share them. Click that share button. Click that like button.
We love talking to you every week. We just want to talk to your friends as well.
If you want to email the show, email us at show@riotsquadcast.com. You can leave us a voicemail, 562-641-5277. We will get those voicemails played. If we have to beat Ben over the head, we'll do it. Because we want you guys to have your input on the show.
Don't forget to get your predictions in for Big Tony's prediction game on the website. I apologize to Jamie Bacon. We forgot to read out Slice of Bacon. I'm out of time. I do apologize. But, the speeches, they run a little long sometimes.
You know what? We'll have Josh put it on.
Yeah.
We'll throw it to Josh and have him put it up there.
Sold.
So go to the RiotSquadcast.com where you can see all of Jamie's writings that she does for us. We really do appreciate that. Thank you, Big Tony, for your prediction games and email.
And we forgot to say during the show, rest in peace to Colin Clark, passed away earlier today. Still our boy.
All our thoughts to his family.
Always one of us, buddy.
Bye.
Fuck you, Brian. Suck a dick, bitch. Woo!
Yeah, maybe we can just send that off to Josh and you can post it up on the site.
Yeah, she only gave me the small one.
Yeah.